Good evening, Risen fans. Welcome back to the Team Builder Rylai's division. We are now in our playoffs, the semifinals. Spooky Mars here with Arrow. Arrow, we are watching two teams today that we've seen before. I'll save you the trouble. Mommy before Bros and the Minion Farmers going up against each other, fourth seed and fifth seed. They're fighting tooth and claw for survival here.
For sure, it's they both these teams were 3-3 on the season. Yeah, like you said, Spooky, it's our respective third and fourth seeds. But I do believe this is our first playoff matchup for the entire Rylai's division. So you'll have to forgive me. I am new to this to this team builder league because I am typically your Doran's caster, but I mean I will fill in for Rylai's this time around. So I'm gonna be learning these players for the first time and getting to see how these guys play. But I'm pretty excited. I mean 3-3 on the season. Both the teams have very similar game records as well, with Minion Farmers having 8 wins and 7 losses, and Mommy before Bros having 7 wins and 8 losses. So I mean seems like a pretty neck and neck team, and I'm pretty excited to see what they got.
Arrow, I wouldn't rather have anyone else up here with me coming up from Doran's. And like you said, it's one game separating these two teams from each other. It's a narrow margin, and neither team wants to go home as the losers today. Remember, you lose here, that's it. Your run
Yep.
is over. Now, what do you get for winning? The honor of facing the number one seed, the Dragoons, in the
Yeah.
next round of the quarterfinals. Maybe not the most prestigious prize, but when you're fighting for survival, anything counts.
Yeah, I mean they'll take a win any day of the week, of course. But like you correctly pointed out, Spooky, it's like you gotta face the Dragoons next round, the 6-0 team, the perfect season match in terms of match score, and only dropping one game throughout the entire year split for sure. So definitely, both teams probably focusing on this week, and then they'll deal with their worries as time goes on. But I love that you pointed it out that if you lose, you're done, your season's over. So the stakes are pretty high, honestly. And if for these teams, if you want to, keep fighting and playing with these guys, one more series, one more match, and then even have a chance to, potentially take it home. You got to win today. That's just easy as that. So I'm quickly looking through most of these guys' like match history and everything. I mean, both these teams. I mean, for the side of Farm, they have some unique picks. I mean, I see a Sejuani top lane pick here, and then some Shaco in the jungle, and then I mean, there's like a Brand in the mid lane as well. So I mean, some unique picks all around from Farm. I love to see it. I mean, kind of gives them an identity, and it kind of gives MBB a challenge of like, how do you want to tackle some of these unique picks? Do you want to just straight up ban it, or do you have things prepared to play into it? So but other than that, I mean, everything else in terms of like mid lane and bot lane seems pretty standard. So it just seems top jungle is going to be a little bit more on the unique side, and something for MBB to have to be cognizant of in draft, and as they're playing the game, because I think Farm have these unique picks that can potentially work to their advantage.
I'm so glad you brought that up because you kind of went straight to my next question before we get to the draft. Is
Mhm.
what dominates this portion of the series, right? Is it about your comfort picks? Is it about the meta
Mhm.
picks? What's going to take you to the top? What's going to push you through this first match? We're going to get to the draft, and I'll let you kind of go over that as we see these come through. Maybe a little bit of a cheat code for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I mean, just from my personal experience, I think comfort trumps the power picks in this league. And now if your comfort is the power pick, then that
That's crazy.
becomes that becomes crazy, right? Then you're in a pretty good spot in most cases, right? But whenever I've played Team Builder and even like Risen's draft league, it's like most of the time we're looking at comfort. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised though if these teams, kind of in the first game want to try stuff out, kind of want to go for a little more meta, kind of get this, standard composition that the meta would dictate. But for most teams, I think if that first game doesn't work out with that standard, I would be pretty surprised if they didn't go to comfort in game number 2. But for game number 1, we'll just have to, keep an eye out for what these teams want to do. I mean, I see Rumble being banned here for the side of Farm, so targeted up towards the top laner of MBB in Unova. I think that's probably one of their most played in solo queue. As I like, checking their match history, I don't see any games of Rumble, so I would imagine that's more of a solo queue pick than an actual, regular season pick. But
Sure.
and then so the Mundo being banned here, it's such a strong pick. I mean, for me, I don't know if you've had this experience, Spooky, but like in solo queue, whether it be jungle or top lane, Mundo is just a menace to deal with.
Well, depends on whose team he's on. If he's on
Sure,
my team,
sure.
then he certainly is a menace
Hmm.
for my team, usually in team. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
on the opposing side, he just becomes so unkillable, so much damage. He truly is
Yeah.
an absolute unit in a lot of these games. Zed and Akali also banned away, some attention
Hmm.
paid towards these assassin picks as well.
For
One
sure.
left for each side. And I'll remind everyone watching from home here, though we
Yeah.
are in the semis, these are still best of threes. So while there
Hmm.
is time to adapt your strategy, there's not as much as there is in those best of 5 series.
Hmm.
Everything matters here. Victor, last ban, Arrow, who you looking for next? Don't say
Yeah.
Ash.
I wasn't gonna say Ash, but hey, I mean,
Okay.
we'll take the Ash ban here. I mean, that is surprisingly, I mean, for MBB, I mean that's Iska's their 80 carries most picked champion, so they're opting to ban it in this first game. Probably don't want to give it away as the first pick here for Farm's 80 carry in Mykus. So no surprises there. Both of these 80 carries have a lot of Ash games. So Sejuani going to be picked up here. I mean, I think this is going to be a Sejuani top lane. It still
Yeah.
could go into the jungle, but I'm looking at these match histories here, and there's 0 Sejuani games. So I imagine this is a blind Sejuani first pick here, which is very bold, especially given that you haven't banned Trundle. And if anybody on MBB can play Trundle, I'd see a slam here if I'm them. But I mean, if not, then Sejuani can be that standard beefy frontliner that can provide a lot of hard CC and peel. So we'll see how MBB want to uh, counter it. I mean, I think we have a missed
Sure.
pick here. I see that empty slot. We'll have to see what the teams want to. We'll say and what that
It's
pick
Trundle.
is. Yeah. Oh, is it? Could be Trundle, but opting to. Yeah. So okay, it is. So it is. Yeah.
Arrow,
Okay, it is
you're
the
you're
Trundle.
earning
So
some points here tonight,
cool,
Arrow.
cool. I mean, look. It's a simple thing. Like Sejuani gets picked, or any tank gets picked. Trundle seems to be the high priority here. So I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised there. So, but I am more surprised about this Lucian because when you think of Lucian, Lucian's very short range. Isn't really your tank killer. So I'm curious to see what you think about this Lucian pick here, Spooky.
Lucian's not your tank killer because Trundle's your tank killer, right? You don't
Yeah,
need two
true.
guys to do the same job here.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm gonna double down. Arrow, you were the first person to see the final ban come through and admit that it wasn't what you were gonna say. So points on that. Points on going for the comfort is king because we go straight for this Sejuani top.
Yeah.
Points on the Trundle, but maybe a Trundle jungle since we're seeing this Yorick
I do.
locked in
Okay.
here across from the Zyrakan duo. We'll come back to them.
Yeah.
I want your thoughts on this Yorick here versus the Trundle. Who's going to make the better top? Who's going to have the bigger impact?
Look, I mean, I say Trundle because that's the tank killer. I mean, Yorick is also up there with those
Sure.
in terms of tank killing. So, I mean, this Yorick is going to have an easy time in this lane. The Sejuani is going to have very little like pressure in terms of just straight 1v1s onto
Good
this
luck Minion.
Yorick. Yeah, I don't imagine Sejuani is going to be having a tough time here. Sejuani is going to be having a tough time here in the top
Yeah.
lane with a Yorick and a Trundle coming at you. So,
You don't get to
and
play the
on
game award.
yeah, pretty much, right? So, Sejuani uses their dash like not in a good way. Trundle comes up, pillars you, and you're stuck there forever. So I kind of like this Shorik. And then not only is it the pillar, it's also the baby cage.
Yeah.
So just two ways for Sejuani to just have a tough time. You baby cage Sejuani, she dashes out, then you Trundle pillar her, then she's going to be having a rough time. And York is a premier side lane split pusher. So I I kind of like what MBB is doing here. They're gonna, play to, shut down the Sejuani and control side lanes is probably the plan here. I see that misban, and I think it's going to be ASOL here. So MBB, you got to lock in some
What
picks
tells you
here.
that?
Yeah,
Why the
but
suspicion for ASOL?
I mean, I'm looking at Farm's composition. They're lacking a little bit of damage. I know Zaya eventually does deal a good amount of damage later, but they do need some AP damage. With that Sejuani top lane, I mean, I'm still standing by this is a Sejuani top lane. Still could go in the jungle, but I imagine it is a top lane. But looking at Farm's comp, they are lacking a little bit of damage right now. So I do like this Alistar pickup. It's going to provide a little more peel and give Lucian a little more space. I mean, ideally, you probably would have paired this Lucian with something
Oh,
like an Enchanter, but Swain being hovered here is interesting. I,
I'm thinking
huh,
Swain top.
potentially. Swain top, Swain mid. Let me take a quick look at their mid laner. They don't have Farm's mid laner doesn't have any games of Swain. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
see.
pretty sure Farms played this before as well, putting this Swain up in the top side.
Oh,
I
no,
like the
sorry. This
ship.
could wait. No, it's not a
Oh,
support. No, wait. Oh, I was gonna say it was gonna be support, but then the Rakan's already locked in. So,
if
huh?
we play Rakan mid, I will just leave you here.
Nah, I also might just leave as well. But this is okay. This is interesting draft adaptation. I mean, I kind of I like the brand. It fits. They need some AP. They need some damage there. So I think you are right, Spooky. So it might be a Swain in the top lane and Sejuani in the jungle. So wow. Oh wait, unless it's Brand jungle. I forgot Brand can jungle, but I don't see
I think the
games.
minion farmers are a team who prefers the brand in their mid lane.
Yeah, I think so.
But I
This
mean,
is
you're right. There's any number of possibilities,
yeah,
any ways we can
win
combine this draft.
for
But
sure.
I think we've seen a very smart play from the minion farmers where everyone kind of knows they like to play the Sejuani top, so they lock it in
Yeah.
early,
Yeah.
allow their opponents to think that's what's happening, and they
Hmm.
save their actual top lane pick for their second round. This is very good from them.
Sure,
I
sure.
just want this rise here too, Arrow.
Yeah. I,
I mean,
I,
it's good engagement with the team comp they've got. Gets the Alistair in. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, okay, so Trundle, York, Rise, Lucian, Alistar. I mean, I like the Rise. The MBB was severely lacking a lot of AP damage, so Rise with some of the new items of this season is going to provide that AP damage with that actualizer. The Rise
Mm-hmm.
damage is going to be insane. On the flip side, though, I have a feeling that this Rise and this Lucian are going to struggle if they can't get some space to deal damage. Because when I look
Sure.
at these compositions for both of these teams, Lucian auto range and Rise, spell cast range are just farms engage range, right? So Rakan
Mm-hmm.
with that flash W and the charm and everything, Sejuani throwing out their ultimate, Swain throwing out their never move, E move and everything. I feel like MBB is going to have a tough time walking into them. However, if Farm is forced to walk into like it's the reverse where it's like if MBB have to walk into Farm, that's good for Farm. If Farm have to walk into MBB, that's good for MBB. So in a straight team fight, I kind of have to favor Farm's composition. It looks kind of good, but then you have to remember this Sejuani is not going to be super tanky with this Trundle going to be in this comp. So
Yeah.
a lot to like about both compositions. What do you think, Spooky?
Here's my curveball for you, Arrow.
Sure.
In a straight team fight, Farm does look good. How
Hmm.
are they going to get that straight team fight? Because we've got a Yorick side lane in one spot. We have a Trundle
Yeah,
who can
that's
be a
true.
split push fiend in another
Hmm.
spot. And
Yeah.
then we've got Rise who can move the team around and just take
Right.
people to wherever your team is not and just
Right.
overload the map this way. I think it's going to be very hard for Farm to engage onto mommy before bros.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think just that map pressure and the way they are able to play it in so many different ways, I think that's what's going to give MBB their advantage here.
Yeah, that's a great point, Spooky. I mean, you're totally right. I mean, MBB composition in a 1-3-1 kind of setting is gonna heavily outpace Farm, and Farm doesn't have the same tools like like you're saying, with that rise teleport, being able to move people around and just affect the map as much as they want, it's going to be pretty tough for Farm to find that straight up team fight, like you were saying. So if Farm can mitigate some of the lanes, make sure that they don't drop. They don't go down too early in the early game. They might be able to handle the side lane pressure from York, from Rise, from Trundle, or whoever is in that side lane. But still, I fear that they'll never have the kill threat onto those side laners without an extra member being there. So you draw members to a side lane and you just cross map and get the objective on the other side. That's probably going to be what MBB's game plan is. Otherwise, Farm is just going to try and walk up to a team fight and probably win in a straight up fight. But I think you brought some great points here, Spooky. But it just depends on how the early game goes.
Thinks it's a good point, then I'm happy because I am in as the dumb one on the cast here. But you've heard from us. There's only one way to see how this game goes. Currently, my producer is bullying me, so I've got to have some words with him. We'll be right back after the break. Serious, get over here. Get over here. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you didn't miss us too much because the action starts right now. The fight for survival, the fight for a championship run. It's still spooky, still Arrow here to go through every inch of this action. And Arrow, we finally got our answer. It is Kobe Bryant taking that Sejuani into the jungle, putting Poppervu onto the Swain up top.
Okay, I mean, interesting because I don't know if this is I don't have any knowledge of this, but Popperview was listed as their support, and then Colby Bryant is listed as their top laner. So they did a little bit of a lane or a little bit of a swap. I think Terry Crews, their typical jungler, has been subbed out. So I think JD's as this Rakan is their sub, and they've moved around. So actually, now with these lineups, it actually makes more sense because Papervu was the Swain player. So not too surprised there with that Swain pick now. That like we've gotten that cleared up, but. Looking at the game states right now, I mean, looking across the board, so far, I don't expect too much action. The only thing would be the spot lane if Iska and Kamikoto can find some sort of engage at level 2, level 3. But with it being Xayah or Khan, it's going to be pretty tough in this bot lane. So
Sure.
taking a look at the jungles, I mean, both junglers are starting on the bot side. Sejuani is looking for a little cheeky level 3 gank here, though.
I like this. This bot side really feels like it's going to be important. Iska going to be the target, but the
Nice
dash is good. Flash takes Iska away from the CC. Kamikoto, a little too beefy to take down here, and that's what I like to see, because when I was looking at these teams, it really feels like this bot side is the place to play around in the early game. MBB really wants to start this spot off strong because the rest of their lanes are very good the later this game goes. Is this really your early mid power point here?
For sure. And I mean, as the result of that play specifically, I mean, look at the Trundle dropped their Krugs and there's going to be getting that blue buff. So Sejuani, even though they did get the flash out of Lucian and, applied some of that pressure and applied some of that pressure back into their own bot lane, Sejuani is going to be suffering here. They're going to be down their blue buff, and then now they're going to get they're likely going to get double scuttled unless they, get this wolf camp and then go back to bot and get that bot scuttle. But I with the way Trundle's going right now, he's about to get that first scuttle and then probably path straight to that second scuttle and probably hit level 6 before Sejuani can do anything on the map.
That's going to be a big power spike for them as well.
Uh-oh.
Really looking at this mid lane, though. Entic in some trouble. Carry my team. Looking to carry some damage, but the stun is good. Put some of that aggression away. But just like you said, Arrow, even if you don't get the kill, there's still a prize to be had. The second scuttle in the river. It'll be completely uncontested. Free for the Trundle. That's going to push him ahead.
Ooh, big pulverize there.
Engage.
No flash on Iska, remember?
Iska.
Oh.
Ooh, with the barrier, but the Ignite is burning him away. The first blood still goes to Iska. Dash away from JD's. Looking to use the range, but it's not enough space. JD's gonna return the kill. Now the CC chain coming through. Headbutt back. Knock up good. JD's walks out.
Yeah, a little supportive combat there at the end, but yeah, great all in there from Iska and Kamikoto to catch out the Xayah and Rakan there. But I mean, I kind of understand why Xayah kind of wanted to make that play there. They know that Iska doesn't have the flash. They know he's down that key summer spell, but they still have the barrier, and Iska playing to the knife's edge. They had barely enough the amount of damage to finish off Xayah before she killed Lucian themselves. So great all in there. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it ends up being like an okay trade. I mean, Xayah does still get this wave. The wave didn't get pushed in, unfortunately, because it was the supports left, and Xayah will be up in a little bit of farm. But at the end, but overall, I mean, Lucian does get that first blood, and it's a huge play for the bot lane.
With the CS, gold should be about even, but slight advantage, like you said, for Iska on this Lucian. They just need to find a way to push that aggression now. Across the map, things have been a little bit quieter, right?
Yeah.
Nova has not had a lot to do up top side, but that's on being a Yorick, right? You're going up against the Swain. Decent enough clear, even with the minions. It's still going to be this slow push into the tower to threaten that. And it just gives this Trundle, Carry My Team, so much space to play the map. I really feel it allows him to farm and get to those big power spikes. Already level 5, just needs that 6th.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure is pretty sad he's not laning into a Sejuani as we thought was going to happen, and in this range versus a melee matchup, it's going to be a little bit rough. But they're doing just fine right now. I mean, they're getting the push. They're up 7 CS, as I think my stream is a little bit lagging, but it's okay. I mean, they're doing pretty good in these trades right now. So, even they're opting to go all in here.
It's level 6. The demonic ascension gonna come out there, but this trade not in his favor. Like, is the baby cage just locks this Swain in for a little bit too long. And now the ultimate's down. The minions are coming in. There's a maiden under the tower as well. Pay-per-view barely clings to life.
I see Trundle there. Maybe they look for a dive. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Here it comes. There's the pillar. Nowhere for him to go. Chomp, chomp. Carry my team. Puts a second kill on the board.
Yeah, carry my team on this Trundle is absolutely running the map right now. They just, back. They have their they did a little bit of an invade into the jungle. I mean, right now I think they're fighting Sejuani over the scuttle, but I think he's gonna get this. Wait, but
it's stunned.
Antic is here now. Oh, dude, level 6. Oh shoot.
CC. Level 6 comes through. Gonna go ahead and burn away some of that health. A little bit of help from Dragon Killer Mega. Make sure Antic can't stay in that fight. Good pressure from the Rise. Dragon Killer on this Rise has consistently had quiet performances, really focusing on scaling up. These small rotations in River play to his advantage because he doesn't have to leave to have an impact.
No, I mean he's oh gosh, that's a huge trade, but like
get out of there.
Yeah, but I mean they've had Prio in the mid lane and perfectly playing around their jungler right now. I mean the jungle carry my team on this Trundle is able to play the map completely however he wants with that top side pressure from and then especially a little bit of trading here.
JD's might be biting off a little bit too much there. He can't commit to everything.
Yeah. Top lane.
Away, but again, pay-per-view under duress has to expend the flash. That'll take him to safety. The dragon, that's going to be started up by minion farmers. They're the first ones over to it.
Wow.
Your eyes were trying to lose. There's not going to be much tension here.
Yeah, I mean, great play here from Farm to get the first dragon of the game. I mean, with how this early game has been going, I would have thought that MBB would be the ones to get that first dragon. But knowing that Carry My Team was on the top side of the map after that extended skirmish for the Scuttle Crab, Colby does run straight down the bot lane with the pressure from mid lane pushing back out and bot lane winning that favorable trade in bot. So, but I think pay-per-view is not happening right now.
No, he is not very happy at all. We got some pretty good damage. Pops off there. Does get the kill on to Carry My Team. Expends his life for it. Should be some power plates going to though. I don't know who I favor at the end of that because it leaves this lane wide open for this Yorick.
I mean, I think York is gonna, be the happier person at the end of the day. They will get some of these platings, like you're saying, Spooky. But I mean, for pay-per-view, I mean, you got to be a little bit happy that you trade 1-for-1 there. I mean,
sure.
Anything with the current game state, I mean, they'll take anything, honestly. But the bigger winner is going to be, going to be still up a decent amount of CS here. I think it's if I'm mathing right. 22 CS up, I think. So
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, the biggest winner going to be They're going to be well on their way to that Triforce. Same thing with Carry. I mean, they are on the grubs, avoid grubs right now. So which is going to be pretty key for this York to just split push and have a field day at the in the later stages of the game. But I think it looks like Colby wants to contest here.
Go ahead and try, but he's going to be a little bit too late to do much of anything.
I think Entic is the first move.
Entic always eager to get the party started. The CC chain coming through and Carry My Team finds a second death in quick succession. Dragon Killer not able to do too much there, but I want to turn our eyes towards one thing here, Arrow. 3-3, Dragon in favor of the minion farmers, but the gold is in favor of Mommy Before Bros right now. They've been farming a little bit more effectively, getting those tower platings. And it's not a big lead, but it is telling that despite the objective, they're still the ones carrying it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Carry My Team hadn't died twice, this gold lead would be much bigger. Oh, pay-per-view is trapped here. Flash
probably gonna drop. He does not have enough CC to get away. Pay-per-view gonna fall, First kill on the board, third total. He's been part of 3 of these 4. That's 75%.
Yeah, I mean, is just running this lane right now. I know Pay-Per-View does have those plated steel caps, and Colby is going to try to salvage this top lane belief so that can't just take it immediately. But I think right now it's just Colby is trying to plug the gaps that Pay-Per-View is showing right now. I mean, unfortunately, in this 1v1, Swain is not doing pretty well into and it's only getting worse because this Yorick just got their Triforce. So Triforce into plated steel caps and a lost chapter feels pretty rough. And because Colby is spending so much time in the top lane, look at carry. They're just clearing out the entire red side jungle right now. So Colby's going to be pretty sad when he walks over to see that all his camps are taken, and there's nothing that farm can do to kind of circumvent. They can try to fight here, but I don't think this is good.
Catch 2. There comes the big flail, but carry my team flashes right on out. He's got
maybe it is
still
good.
Full health, putting some damage out. Kamikoto looking for a way on out of this. Did use the unstoppable juggernaut to get himself out.
Boy.
Still
Antic is here now.
Looking for a good CC chain. Knocks up Antic just to buy some space for his team. He's going to pay for it with his life. But he knew that going in. Got the rest of his team out. You'll take that.
Yeah, but great roam there from Antic to kind of salvage the play, kind of try and punish carry for counter jungling into or stealing some of the jungle camps there in the red side jungle. But I mean, the biggest winner again at the end of the day is in the top lane, getting another solo kill onto Pay-Per-View and opting to not take that top lane tower. But still, top lane is pretty over right now. Is running the map now that Sejuani was forced to go bot lane, so they know the jungler's not going to be there to stop them from getting the kill onto Swain. So I mean, overall, I think it's still in favor of MBB. Funo is up so much, still up 22 CS, crazy. But that top lane tower is I can see 1 on that tower, so it's pretty rough here. Iska looking for
Iska, you shouldn't be 1v2 in here, my friend. Maiku's gonna put him back in his place. Send this guy back to the grayscale for a little bit. I want to harken back to something you brought up here, Arrow. And honestly, you've just been putting. I'm gonna get a whiteboard or something and start marking down all the points you're earning, because you were right. Colby has been making these rotations, but a lot of it's been staunching the bleeding up on this top side, and it's allowed carry my team to just free farm throughout this entire jungle. He's a level up. Yuno's 2 levels up top side. The XP gap is the bigger problem here, and you're seeing it right there in action. Another free kill, the Maiden doing the work. Even though Colby takes away that Ocean Drake, the XP gap is causing some issues.
Yeah, I mean, I still have to be pretty happy with the fact that Colby does get 2 dragons is pretty good. Iska, you're kind of out of play.
Going in deep. Kamikoto actually dashes
Dragon's
forward.
here.
Reckoning has been used. Dragon Killer Mega looking for a little bit more aggression. Can you find some CC? Can you find a root?
Nice dodge.
Slow is good. A lot of damage being put out. JD's goes
here
for the
comes
knockup.
Antic.
And here comes Carry My Team looking for another way into this. Killer good, but it's just enough to split up the fight. Antic moving forward, blasting some fire out.
Oh, man.
Not enough here just yet to find the kills. For the Pyroclasm, JD's doesn't quite hit the knockup he's looking for. Kamikoto pushes him right back out. Dragon Killer still a target here, and Kamikoto now burning. Go for the feather dance, pull him out. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
Antic is doing so much damage here, though.
Has fallen. Juggler down for farm. That should be all they want, but Dragon Killer still pushing forward aggressively. I don't know about this. The tick damage is good. And Minion farmers looking like some champ farmers.
Man, I mean, what seemed like just what seemed like a really good play to try and catch out Iska under the tower with Kamikoto. Ends up being a turn play for MBB with members with Rise teleporting into that bot lane to counter. And trying to slow chase, forcing Antic to TP down to counter the play, but. I mean, I think it was just an overchase for MBB and trying to get a little too much, because at the end of the day, Antic was just was landing all their abilities, granting so much DOT with that brand passive and just burning everybody. And with that early Rylai's build, everybody was slowed, so it was almost like Antic was toying with them. Antic was like baiting them to come in, but the slow was just made it so hard for them to to actually, engage. But at the end of the day, Entic, dealing so much damage and getting a few kills into their pockets. So got to keep an eye out for this brand. I mean, they're 2-0 right now, and then even this Xayah has gotten a few quick kills, and quickly this bot lane, which was once in favor of Iska on this Lucian and Alistar, is now in favor of the Xayah Rakan. So I think MVP, I mean, you have a really strong top side, but you got to be careful of feeding this Xayah. Otherwise, she's probably the Xayah and this brand. Xayah and brand can carry this game away from So just got to keep an eye out for that.
We're starting to push more to the mid-game section of things. About 16 minutes in. This is where I'm starting to think, MVP not as strong as Farm. They've got a lot of full-on engage. The team fights for Farm are very good. But the objective focus on the top side from carry has been a consistent through line. Sure, they've given up a couple dragons.
I think Dragon's in trouble, though.
Dragon killer. Gonna be the next thing found here by Colby Bryant. There's just so much CC forcing the flash out. Bot side can do nothing to rotate up to him. They're locked into this tower. Good aggression onto East. Got good damage being answered back. The Reckoning coming through, but can it find the damage it's looking for? Not likely. The exchange on both mid and bot. No kills found.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny looking at the map state right now. I mean, you look mid, I mean, it looks like everyone's farming. You look bot, it's just like, farming and a little bit of trading. And then you look top lane, it's just a complete wash. Just
farming.
Is farming, but oh no, something go. Oh,
very good.
I don't know. You want
Kodo forces Hades under the tower. Tower shot's good enough to pick up the kill as well. You would have liked it on your Lucian, but you'll take the kill either way.
Yeah, you'll take a kill. I mean, huge play there from Kami. I mean, wow. Flashing behind the Rakan, pulverizing them, and then headbutting them back under the tower before they can, pop their ultimate and dash back to their Xayah. So great play there from Kami on the Alistar to, kind of negate some of the pressure that this Xayah Rakan has been putting out. It's been pretty rough here for Lucian. They're getting a little outranged with the feathers, with everything going on, and out damaged as well, being down a whole item. But I mean, the way I'm seeing it right now, Lucian, it looks like Iska is going for an IE second, which is not. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of damage on item 2, but it just takes forever to get there. And on the flip side, Maikos on the Xayah with the Essence Reaver and the Vori Flicker Blades is going to be a lot more powerful at this point in the game. So, but when Iska does get that 2-item power spike, he's going to be dealing some heavy damage with that IE.
Just has to get there though, and right now that's been kind of the problem for Iska down here. He's been under a lot of pressure, falling a little bit behind in the gold department. Economy hasn't quite been there, but Dragon up on the board, and this time you can see MBB wanting to make a play for it. It's not going to get down there very easily. This Swain pestering him, both teams posturing.
Yeah, not used to their outer tower being they're not used to the outer tower being up. Accidentally walking through the outer tower there, but they are a little caught, but I think they're going to be fine. But right now, I mean, they spent a lot to try and get and now they missed their Sejuani ult. So MBB have positioning here onto the Dragon. This is exactly what we're talking about in draft. Farm is going to be forced to walk into MBB without their key summoners.
Bite, not going to be finding any grip there. Farm is now walking forward. Target is Kami Kodo. Just headbutts right
TPing
in.
Back in.
There's the Demonic Ascent.
Nice.
TP'd back in. They were just buying some time. Here's the cage locking in too. Kami with a bare sliver of health. Gonna be sent back to base the hard way.
Dragon's on the back line.
Looking for Iska, but not able to find the knockup. The CC's not quite there. And Dragon Killer in the back. He's just recasting through this fight. Trying to spread the damage around. Sustaining some great heals come out. And the Trundle walking forward. Double kill for Maikos on the Xayah, but now is Dragon Killer all the way in the fight by himself. 1v4, it's a triple kill for Maikos and the Dragon for the Minion farmers.
Wow, what a team fight there for Farm. I mean, Pay-Per-View has been down all game, but that was a huge team fight for them. They were in their Demonic Ascension the entire time. It looks like they didn't even lose any HP there. So what a huge team fight win for Farm. They they're on Soul Point 20 minutes in the game, and it looked so bad for the side lane there. But then as soon as the team fight rolls around, it's just a wand. It's a wand fight for farms. So I mean, for MVB, they did get chunked out in that mid lane, but they were forced to back and TP back in. So by the time they got there, they were already down an Alistar, and it was hard for them to fight. But then they opt to try and turn the fight with Dragon Killer also TPing back in. But at the end of by that point, it was just most Iska was low HP, couldn't keep fighting, and then Carry My Team tries to flash in, finish off Mycos, but then I think he missed his pillar. So then Xayah ended up on the other side, and he wasn't able to auto them. So it was just a series of unfortunate events for MBB and a huge win for Farm there. So they're on Soul Point 20 minutes into the game, and now they have control of the game.
Soul Point 20 minutes in, and a flip of that gold lead. It's small, but now it's in the hands of the Minion farmers. And you know, Arrow, we were talking about this a little bit beforehand. The Minion farmers just have a stronger 5-on-5 fight. When they're walking into you, their big circles are just a bit more effective. So
for sure,
MVB not utilizing this split push pressure they have is a little bit telling. And pay-per-view on this Swain, I'm glad we're panning back up to this guy because it's such a disgusting character. This champion is
I
gross.
think he might be in trouble here.
He should be. Demonic Ascension has gone down, but here comes Colby Bryant trying to make some space.
Nice pillar.
My team, though, has a great pillar to stop
the healing.
And teleport coming on.
Entic is TPing in.
Not going to be in a great spot as Entic rejoins the fight. Stuns down Carry immediately. Dragon Killer a ways away, and then call is made. Just run, just get out, leave the trolls to die. There's nowhere for him to go. A killing spree for Bram.
Yeah, I mean, good pick there from onto pay-per-view, but a great answer from Colby. I mean, now your jungler is down for the side of MVB, so this could be barren in the eyes of Farm. I mean, their AD carry is up. I mean, they do need their AD carry to arrive, but Brand with this DOT damage is going to do plenty of damage, and it looks like MVB don't even know. Either they don't know what's happening, or they're not even going to try and contest.
I don't like this call from MVB. At the same time, you can't out-secure it. You don't have a smite available. Is all the way on the bot side. Teleport's still down. No way for him to get up there. That's just going to be a free Baron in the hands of the Minion farmers. They were biding their time, waiting and scaling, and now they're in a position to start pushing and take full control of this game. A lot of tier 1s still up. All tier 1s actually up for MBB. So where do the Minion farmers look first?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of standing gold on the map for Farm, like you did point out, Spooky. So they could get a huge influx of gold to, swing this gold lead in their a little more in their favor. Because you look at the state of the game, you think Farm is up by a lot of gold, but it's only 600, it's only 600-ish gold for the side of Farm in favor. But with that tower going down, the gold lead should balloon a little bit more. But with these Baron empowered minions, it's going to be pretty hard for this for these side laners of Rise and Yorick to push out waves. If there's an enemy, I think is in trouble here.
But Colby's just not having any of it. In a bad spot. The rest of the team's coming on.
Oh my god, they can't kill Yuno.
My team finds a big
kill,
saves the top laner's life. 2 quick kills, 2 lost Barons. Sure, you lost a tower, maybe losing your whole mid lane with only Iska here to defend against 3. That's not a great siege defense. Everything has a cost here, Arrow.
For sure. I mean, but great. I mean, good for Farm to get the mid 2 towers. But what looked like an easy pick in the side lane turns into a huge turnaround play for MBB. They send Dragon Killer and Carry to save surviving as long as they could in that 2v2. It looked like they were going to go down, but those York Qs were healing them for so much damage. And they're TPing out to yeah. Unfortunately, no anti-heal on the side of either team right now. Yeah, so a little surprising. I mean, I think pay-per-view could be just sitting on an Oblivion Orb, or even Colby on Sejuani could be sitting on Bramble Vest as well. But I guess neither of them seeming to think it's worth it. But I think you're right. I mean, there's a sneaky amount of healing on the side of MBB, so Oblivion Lord or even a Bramble Vest would be good. But here comes the Soul Point fight, and Farm are just asserting their dominance, just taking back the positioning that MBB had. But it looks, I mean, MBB, you don't want to give her a soul at this point of the game. Oh, Kamimono.
Kami finds a big pulverize, hits 3 people, but the
Oh,
come through
huge!
JD straight into the back, and there's no follow-up for Kami Kodo. 2 down, the backliners are dead, and now pay-per-view's just walking through them all. Call them all dead. Dragon Killer Mega, the only one left alive. No ace, but yes, sir, found your soul point. Farm taking great control here, now looking for a little bit more.
Wow, I mean, it looked like a great play there for Kamikoto on the Alistar, getting a 3-man pulverize in the backline, but it was Entic and Maikos with their respective ultimates and the feather recall from Xayah that just absolutely turned the fight. I mean, they had a huge engage onto the backline from Alistar, but they couldn't follow up because they got rooted from the Xayah feathers. So great fight there from Farm again, and it was pay-per-view just healing the entire fight. They pop their ultimate and they heal from everybody on top of them. They can't pop the Swain in time, and it's just a one team fight, and the soul in the favor of Farm. So right now, Farm looking great after what looked like a potential turning point for MBB with that side lane playing going awry. Farm quickly retake the lead, and now they're back on the map, and you know, number 1 in their eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta shout out JD's on this one. 1-1-13 found a clean entrance into the backline to completely disrupt MBB's fight there. And frankly, if I'm going to shout out JD's, I might as well shout out Entic 508 right now. Both players having so much kill participation. Heck, why am I leaving out Maiku's? It's the same kill participation as JD's. This core backline has been working in tandem so efficiently throughout this entire game. Farm has just been playing where their power points are. They know who's going to bring the damage. They know who's going to make those opportunities. Kobe and pay-per-view, they're just here to make the space, and they're doing it phenomenally.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, and on the flip side, though, MBB not able to leverage side lanes to, you know, prevent these types of fights from happening. Unfortunately, I mean, we stated it pretty clear in draft where if Farm get their 5v5, you know, their comp heavily wins in those situations. So, you know, MBB unfortunately being forced to fight into these you know, these soul point dragon fights, and I mean this is gonna be turning pretty ugly soon.
Oh yeah, you don't want to get caught by that. The swarm just comes on in.
Entic is here too.
Farmers are looking for their harvest, and the harvest is looking mighty bounty right now. Find 2, take them off the board. Iska can do nothing but fire some shots down range. You call it the reckoning, but it's more like a tickling right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, MBB looking like what I was just talking about, where Farm want their 5v5, but MBB want to fight in the side lanes, and unfortunately for MBB, they aren't able to find the fight, and then they get caught with Farm rotating to top lane to pick off, you know, and then pick off carry as they, you know, look for a top lane push here. I don't think they're going to get much else off of it, but, you know, just the map is now open, and what we were talking about earlier as a 600 gold lead, it's now 4K gold lead with Baron spawning now. So it looks like Dragon Killers is opting to stay in the bot lane to split, but this Baron should be free for Farm.
What a convenient time to be up topside. I wonder if somebody perhaps planned it this way. Minion farmers, excellent usage of their time. You know, we were talking about utilizing your split pushers, trying to side lane more efficiently. Dragon Killer wasn't the one I had in mind when we were talking about that, but at the same time, what more was he going to contribute up to that top side? You have to do something somewhere, even if it's just getting your farm for the next fight. It's all Dragon Killer can really do. He's a level up on Entic right now, but I just don't see a world where that's enough, because you look at these supports as well. Kamikoto, 3 levels down. This guy's getting blown up every time he looks for an engagement, and that's not going to get any better anytime soon.
Something else, I just random, because I just realized what it was, but Sejuani has the new Dawn and Dusk item. So I imagine that means that they're going to be proccing their brittle much faster with one auto attack. So cool adaptation there for Colby on this Sejuani. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it gives
Not
HP, it
annoying at
gives that
all.
cool on hit passive thing. So great adaptation there. But I mean, sorry, but going back, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, Dragon Killer likely. I mean, I think with Rise you do have some side lane pressure, but I mean, right now they don't need side lane pressure. They need somebody to stop this push.
Look at where the rest of the team is. They're pushing up the top side. This is a free bot lane, bot inhibitor. All the defenses cracked. 2 lanes now exposed. Nexus not looking healthy.
Yeah.
This is not good. Losing your
Dragon
maiden.
Killer.
Dragon Killer all the way forward. You can't.
Oh, Kami!
Kami tries to go for another engagement, but he's immediately charmed down. Swarmed. Everybody moving around Kami. There's nowhere for this cow to go. Send him back to the field, and everyone walking down towards the fountain. Double kill from Maikus. Make
Triple.
it 3. Can ya make it 4? Just kill everybody, and you've got an open core. Minion farmers take game number 1.
Yeah, what a game from Minion farmers there. Just absolute domination from minute 20, at minute 15 and onward. I think. I mean, it looked pretty rough here for for farm in the early game with MBB running that top side with carry on that trundle running the entire jungle, but a few random kills from Trundle, dying under tower to Swain, dying in a 2v1 situation right after the Void Grubs kind of kept farm in the game. They were pretty heavily down, but they got the huge shutdown on the Trundle, and then I think it was Mykos and JD's on the Zyra Khan just flipping the script in bot lane, turning the pressure that MBB had into pressure of their own, and then getting themselves the first 2 dragons of the game, kind of set themselves up for the success later as the game progressed. I mean, it kind of forced MBB to have to team fight them. Otherwise, they would be up on Soul Point at 20 minutes, and then they would be up at the actual Soul fight at 25 minutes before words I cannot think before Yorick and Rise could potentially affect side lanes. So I mean, overall, what a great game from Farm. I mean, they're up they're up 1-0. I mean, they had a lot of their comfort picks with that Brand, with that Swain, with that Sejuani. So right now they're looking pretty good. And for MBB, they have to they're gonna have to clean up some of those early random kills. I think. Like I was saying, Trundle dying a few times kind of kept Farm in the game. So other than that, though, I mean, I think they were looking pretty good in the early game. I mean, Carry was carrying at some point, but it just the game kind of fell off, and they weren't able to continue doing it.
Sure. I look back at this game, and we were thinking, Colby on the Sejuani, he's not going to feel very tanky with this Trundle. By the time we started team fighting, it kind of felt like our Trundle was ulting Kami Kodo with how quickly he was melting in those fights.
Right.
But overall, I did not see a lot from this Trundle. A lot of farming, but we didn't have any objective pressure. We didn't really see too many ganks aside from a couple dives up top side. I think we need something a little bit more proactive from MBB if they want to take this second game. Whether they can find the solution or not, that's an answer to be had in the future. We'll see the results after a break. Welcome back, my friends. I hope you didn't miss us too much because the show does not stop there. We have at least one more game before we have a victor tonight. Arrow. It is MBB. Down one game. Minion Farmers have themselves a lead. Can they close this one out? And what do they need to do for it?
I mean, for Minion farmers, not much else. I mean, if they wanted, win a little cleaner, they shore up some of their early game. I think pay-per-view probably not as comfortable in that top lane matchup as a Swain. But as soon as people got out of lane, it seemed like farm came alive in those team fights. It just they played their comp to perfection and just won out from there. So not much to say for farm, but for MBB, if they want to keep your season alive, you kind of probably probably have to shore up some of those
Change everything?
yeah, no, I wouldn't say change everything, but I would say just shore up some of those mid game decisions. I think they had the pretty solid early game. They were ahead by a decent amount. Trundle was running the map, but they just couldn't uh transition it into a victory for
Sure.
themselves. So I think in terms of draft, I mean, a lot of the power picks for each team are out. I mean, there's still a good amount. I mean, I think Vi is going to be pretty high priority for farm. But they're going to opt for Corki instead. So they're opting to get their bot lane just priority on their bot lane. So I mean, what are your thoughts so far, Spooky? I mean,
I think
the bands look the
Corky's an
same.
ugly champion that's stupid and disgusting. I never like seeing him. That said, he regrettably has been putting up some very good results, and as a result, I've been very unhappy with the performances. I like the Varus a lot better.
Yeah,
That's a cool champion that I like
for
to see in
sure.
my games when it's on my side. A lot of burst coming out from that character, and a Graves
Ooh.
next to it. Some good range, a little bit of brawling. I'm not sure if I like the Graves as a character, though.
I mean, Graves has gotten slowly over the past few patches has gotten some big buffs to their Outlaws Grit passives, or
Mhm.
I mean, with how much how much armor and MR they get from that passive. I mean, they've kind of become this weird like big damage bruiser that's tanky as hell.
Yeah, that's
So,
why I don't like him.
um, yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting. They're going for this double 80 carry composition right now with Graves like most likely in the jungle, but I kind of like what they're going for. I mean, for the side of MBB, carry was kind of running the game earlier, and I think you correctly pointed it out, Spooky. They kind of weren't able to have the same impact later in the game on that Trundle, and they kind of felt invisible at some point. But with the Graves, they should have a little more agency to run the map and deal a little more damage. But the counter pick Rammus is coming in here, so Rammus Braum is pretty decent into a double 80 carry composition in my head. So it looks
It's
pretty
just
good for
such a funny
farm.
response.
I know.
It's so funny. It's like, oh, you want to play Varus Graves? Enjoy dying to your own damage. Hit me. Like, that's a disgusting draft strategy coming out from farm, but I really do quite like it. This
I
Thresh
yeah.
plays nicely, some good setups and good disengage. Maybe helps your backline out a little bit when they get taunted. You could just drag that Rammus away, but you also don't want to drag him too far away because then your character
Yeah.
starts walking towards them. So like, do I want to do that?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like the both teams have pretty similar draft strategies in terms of how game number one went. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they did go for the Corki first and they paired it with the Braum, but then the Rammus is another one of those tanks, and I assume for Colby. So, Colby is going to be piloting another tank champion in the jungle. They did have a rough early game. They did and kind of went down, but they kind of came alive in the later stages of the game. Got the first two dragons, forced a great fight for the third dragon, and you know, I think they're looking pretty good right now. And for MVP, they're going to be blocking in the Galio here. They did need a little bit more frontline for the Varus, for the Graves. So Galio kind of fits that bill, and they did need some AP. So they kind of Galio does kind of fit that bill, but I personally like seeing Galio more when your team wants to engage, and having a Galio ult come on top of you and just slam everybody is ideal, but he can act as that kind of like tankier front line to give some space. But the counterpick Vagar in response, Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
I think that's
Interesting.
a
I don't
good
know.
word for it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, all right, Spooky. What are you thinking so far? I mean, I don't think we see Remus too often. I mean, Vagar comes up every once in a while in this league, but with this whole composition in general, this doesn't. This I don't know. It is interesting.
Arrow, there's a very personal hell for me where I just have to cast a lot of my least favorite champions in this
Oh
game,
no.
and they just keep doing it to me. Like
Oh
Galio,
no.
why? Why do this to me? I know it's something personal. I was kind of against the Galio, well, the Vigar into the Galio at first, but I guess it's a Vigar into Aurora with a Galio up top side,
Maybe?
which is the only way I could see this draft really coming together from MBB. I
Mhm.
don't think I'm a personal fan of Galio top, but it's playing against Ornn. It's probably not going to get pressured out too much, but Ornn's
Yeah.
also just one of those characters that doesn't really lose lane that hard. And the
True.
sheer scaling from the minion farmers, like if we reach late game and we're giving this Vigar a masterwork,
Yeah.
good luck.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just clear what Farm want to do in most of in these two drafts that we've seen. They want to scale. They want to survive the early game. Scale into the mid game. Get pretty strong in the late game. And I think you're correct with those. Those masterwork ornaments coming in for their team later into the game. I mean, looking at the MBB side, I don't see games of Aurora on either the mid laner or the top laner. So on the flip side, I see two games of Galio on Dragon Killer in the mid lane. So
Jungle
it,
Aurora.
it or that, yeah, maybe. We'll see when we load into screen. But I mean, I have to favor Farm's composition. Yes, the Rammus
Yeah.
is atypical. Yes, Vagar isn't going to be your standard mid laner, but I mean Corki with three beefy frontliners in front of him is going to have a field day in terms of just like being able to dish out a ton of damage. And the only thing they really have to worry about is this Aurora, popping into the backline, trying to pop them like a balloon later into the game. But I like to favor Farm's team composition a little bit more. I mean, MBB, you have that double 80 carry Varus Graves, and Aurora Galio can roam the map a little bit, affect the side lane, affect a 2v2 going on. So there's a lot to like about both compositions, but if I had to play one out, I think I'm looking at Farm's composition more. What about you, Spooky?
Era, I don't have too much to add to that. I'm in full agreement for you. I think Farm just plays this game a little bit better with their draft.
Mm-hmm.
The game is just better for them the longer it goes. I don't think there's a lot of
Yeah.
tools for MBB to pressure this Vigar out. Yeah, you could rotate with the Thresh and the Galio to jump him, but do you want to expend that many people and allow the Corki to farm up? Corki's a very safe character. He can Valkyrie away from most of the engagement from MBB.
Mm-hmm.
So really, a lot of the appeal just goes towards this Vigar. Good luck getting to him.
Right.
But Arrow, we can theorize and speculate all day, and maybe I'll make you. Maybe the viewers would like that, but I, for one, don't have much more to contribute to you. So I'm going to send this one to a break. We'll see how this one goes right after this. Once more down to the rift, two teams collide. One team will stand victorious. Will it be the Minion Farmers pushing MBB all the way out of this tournament, or MBB find themselves clawing their way into a tiebreaker? Arrow, it's down to this. It's do or die for the mommies before bros. I'm not sure what the plural of that team actually is, but we're here with it.
We don't have to dive into that, honestly. I mean, there probably is there's probably a grammatically correct version somewhere out there, but if we're diving back into the game, I mean, yeah, you're totally right. You know, mommies before bros is on the brink of elimination here against Farm, and Farm is up. Brozai, yeah, but yeah, I mean, looking here, let me make the level 2 advantage right now. Oh, but
a good play. Just disengages all of that. That's one thing I will say.
Landed.
Oh, I can't believe that death sentence landed. That's crazy.
I know, right?
The disengage from Kamikoto is very strong, despite how good JD's is at starting those fights.
Yeah.
I have to wonder how much of this will stick.
I mean, right now Iska is low on mana and a little bit on lower on the HP end. They did take the, they did just pop their potion, or they have already popped their potion. So, right now it looks like Mykus and JDs are gonna just get the push in, get their farm advantage right now. See how much Iska can farm under this tower, but a safe 4 CS lead here for the bot side. So great trades there for JDs and Mykus on the Corki here. But I mean, looking in the mid lane, interesting choice here for the Gallia to take the Dark Seal. But man, there's a lot of trading here in the bot lane. They don't want to let up the pressure.
It's the Varus Wizard Arrow Gang. We love sending spells. Iska's not quite able to find the kills, but Kamikoto staying on that aggressive positioning. Make sure Mykus and JDs both have to be very careful.
Yeah, ooh, a little bit of trading here
in the jungle as well. River Scuttle secured by Carry. He loves those as well.
Oh,
Death Sentence. We love landing those.
Yeah. Oh, flash on top of Iska. But
not gonna look for anything more though. Iska keeps life. Are we gonna see a first blood here? Maybe if they keep fishing.
Yeah, I mean, but they can't keep fishing right now. I mean, look at the mana bars of both Iska and Kamikoto. Unfortunately for both of them, no more mana to go for something else after that. But Mycos did take a heavy trade there. They are low on HP, so they're forced to back off. So Iska and Kamikoto will get the push in, and Carry again. I think just got another double scuttle for the side of them for themselves. So I mean, Colby, these early clears are pretty rough. I mean, I imagine Rammus does not clear as fast as the Grave, so I'm not too surprised with the double scuttle there. And I mean, same thing with the Sejuani earlier. But I mean, in the first game, Sejuani, Colby on that Sejuani did go for that level 3 gank on the bot lane. But this time around, they do get the full clear, but not able to get to the scuttle before Carry on the Graves can. But they're looking here top lane onto Unova.
Yeah, we mentioned the Aurora up top side. Now going to be CC chained down. Looks a little hop through space. Little stupid bunny's going to get out of that. We'll call her a rat for now. Oh, but what's going on with this Aurora top side? Hold that thought. Antic.
Ooh.
Gonna be fine.
Good trade there in the mid lane. But, yeah, I mean, Aurora is up 10 CS right now. They're doing pretty good. I mean...
Yeah, it's mage top lane. Oh my god! Just flash right through the wall, pick yourself up a first blood.
Okay, Carey. I mean, I guess he knew that they were backing right there. Flashes over the wall, goes for the kill, gets first blood. So huge play there from Carey. Definitely, wanting to get some revenge for that first game, the early game in the first game. But a little trading here in the bot lane.
I mean, that's how Carey started off game 1 as well. Want to be aggressive, want to find those kills. Has to make sure he keeps that ball rolling, though. You don't want to hand those over. Right now, there's a lot of places that could be handed over to. Eyes, like you said, are on this bot lane where all this fighting has been happening. Mike Goose,
Hook?
You don't want to be taking that trade. This flail is just putting people in bad position after bad position.
Yeah, but I mean, JD's is putting up that wall, and it's not. I mean, most of these trades actually are going in. It's a little even, but I mean, Iska does take a huge. Oh man, he gets tagged. I don't know about this one.
Oh, piercing arrow available. JD's just walks right up. Mykus finds the first blood. Ignite doesn't even tick him down. This time he gets to keep his life. Walk on out. 1-1 now on the board.
Oh, I'm a little surprised Kamikoto didn't go for the trade there onto Mykus. They didn't have barrier. They have cleanse, and cleanse was down. I don't think it would have done anything in that situation. So I think one more auto from Threshold. Yeah, he does. I don't know, but I mean, they opt to not go for it. But Colby is on the they're going to be pushed off. So I think Graves is about to hit level 6 off of this grub or this this scuttle. So but going back to, I mean, what we were saying about Carry, I mean, what I would love to see as a different iteration of the first game, I would love to see Carry look for these early dragons to avoid Farm from getting those early dragons and stacking into the game. But right now, they're getting for this Raptor with Dragon Killer on the roam.
And Carry just loves invading. Your jungle is his jungle. There's nowhere to farm for Colby, but this is also a position he was in last game. Constantly getting his jungle stolen away, was still able to make big impacts. And that's part of the nature of being this tank. You need a little bit less income. and your abilities are still impactful because it's just a point and click taunt. It's going to be effective.
Yeah, I mean, both teams kind of playing exactly how this jungle matchup should go. I love that Harry is on this first dragon with the prio in mid lane, with the prio in the bot lane. So, good play here. I mean, unfortunately for the Colby, they're gonna lose their red buff, and they're gonna try and go for their top side camps to full clear. But I mean, if they really wanted to try and try and get even themselves back up, they would look to invade to the top side red portion of the jungle, but opting to just go for the full clear, and they're going to be down a lot of gold. But like you're saying, Spooky, I mean, Rammus is a tank. They don't need too much income to be very effective. They will taunt people still and will be decently tanky with that Bramble Vest. So I'm not too worried, but I mean, at some point, if this Graves gets too much gold and just starts, one-shotting people before Colby can show up, then of course that becomes a problem.
Sure. It's 1,000 gold in favor of MBB right now. Same tune as game number 1, something they're used to.
This guy gets tagged.
Question is, can they hold on to it this time around? Bigger question is, how much time is too much time for the minion farmers to take to get this team composition online? Because Norn needs to get some levels. Vigar wants to get some stacks.
Yeah.
But both of things are difficult right now. Dragon Killer being able to just engage onto this Vigar. And we haven't talked enough about it, I feel like. Why is it an Aurora in top lane? What is this filth?
I mean, I don't think I would necessarily call it filth. I mean, right now they are up.
Laner,
it is a ranged top laner. I mean, with that 3-hit passive of theirs, they get to heal up off, like, hitting that passive onto champions. So
dude, she heals too.
Yeah, it's a pretty low DOT, like
I played against
healing over time
recently, and I never know what she's doing to me.
So I mean, right now it's pretty evident that this is not a very fun time for pay-per-view. But I think same case with Colby and with Colby on this Rammus and Orin here. I mean, they're tanks. They're not going to need too much gold to be effective. But if is able to just free farm a little bit longer and go untouched, it's going to be pretty rough here for the top side. But until that happens, I mean, Aurora pretty much gets a free lane to scale and farm. I mean, that's pretty much the goal for this Aurora. I mean, Eris did get that early gank, but it didn't really amount to anything. They got the push in, so didn't get punished for it. But Colby is not going to have a good time right now.
My boy needs to farm, looking for a way on. Pay-per-view, getting dove under the tower, not going to be able to hang on to his life there.
Oh, they're going on bot lane here.
Still, this fight continues. JD's gets flayed back forward. Piercing arrow, and the volley gonna connect. Goose finds his way on out. Nowhere for this engagement to go for now. MBB, 3 kills on the board, starting to push themselves into a good lead here.
Yeah, I mean, Carry on this Graves backs and gets their hubris item, so they're gonna be all these kills that are going on in these assists are gonna be stacking up that hubris. So. Carry really going for that carry performance kind of game right now. I mean, Colby, I have to criticize a little bit. I don't know why we're contesting Scuttle there when you don't have Prio in the bot lane and Prio in mid lane. So Colby kind of getting caught out there, and then they do get out at the end of the day, but at the cost of JD's trying to save them. So I mean, good for MBB trying to play through their jungle, and I love that Carry is playing a little more to their bot side and mid lane. So they're able to be more powerful on the map, and and now that they have a Galio, anytime Carry does maybe get caught out in a 1v2 situation, it quickly becomes a 2v2 in theory for this Galio ultimate to come over. So right now, Galio's doing pretty well in this mid lane. They do have the push. I think they're going to back and probably have. I don't think they finished their items, but they're going to have components for their items. And then, top lane, I didn't even mention it. I mean, got the solo kill onto pay-per-view under towers. So, with that Blackfire Torch is well on their way to, scaling and becoming this unkillable monster that pops you probably. But right now, Carry looking for something here under tower, likely. But
not gonna find too many opportunities though.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view just gonna go ahead and get back under tower. That's so much damage. That's so gross. I hate watching a mage bully a melee tank in top side. One thing I want to highlight here though is the CS differences, because we've got some big ones starting to creep through, and it's at the top side of that scoreboard, both in top lane and the jungle. 30 CS differences practically, really pushing that economy. And this is going to be a problem for the minion farmers if they're not careful. They have to find some way to stymie this and try to get themselves back in the game. The problem is they've got nowhere to go, and Entic getting aggressed on in mid, pushed back, keeps his life. Even the bot side, where things are going well for the minion farmers, this lantern keeps Iska so safe they can't commit to anything.
Yeah, it's pretty rough here. I mean, it's almost that's a 32 CS lead in the jungle. So Graves, Carry, and even Dragon Killer. I mean, even though they're even in CS at this point, but oh man,
Oh man, the chance of corruption gonna do some good work. Good body.
Oh, here comes Dragon Killer.
Brings him back into the box. A heroic entrance slams right down on their heads. A double kill for Carry. Just as the dragon comes up, we know where we're going.
No.
Our prize is here, and why not pick up one on the top end as well?
Yeah, things are going from bad to really worse. I mean, for farm here, I mean, MBB, you're playing the map pretty well right now. I mean, Graves is everywhere on this map, and even Colby's own red side jungle. Oh, hook lands.
Oh, man, like, why is Entic still up here by himself? You just cannot be in these spots. Kamikoto has been everywhere on this Thresh, and the death sentences, they're living up to the name.
Yeah, I mean, great play there from Kamikoto. I mean, I do agree with you, and they're spooky. I don't know why Entic is walking up that far with the knowledge that the MBB is on Dragon, so everybody is away from their their lanes. But Entic getting caught out, punished for pushing up a little too far. But something I do want to point out: Iska on this Varus is going for the AP variant of Varus. I mean, I think it's a pretty I don't know if I don't know much about the AP variant of Varus. I mean, I don't know if you go. It does seem bursty, but I don't because I do know they have Comet, which isn't the typical on hit keystone, but okay, looking top lane here. Oh, good flash.
Good flash from gonna avoid all of this gank. Colby again just wasting his time, not able to do anything up here.
Yeah. Oh,
every time we see an engagement come through, it's just quickly countered, but finally something might get going. The box separating so much space.
Hook lands again.
The death stance is going to connect. JD's has to go right back into the damage, being answered back into Kamikoto. Not enough to bring him down. He walks back under his tower to safety. And all the while, it's just, up top side, putting the pressure down. And, Entic, I don't know why you're down here, but you're here.
Yeah, he TP'd down just in case for the extended 2v2. But, I mean, at the end of the day, Kamikoto and Iska, getting out with the skin of their teeth there, but oh no, Colby
is so cooked right now.
Oh no.
Boom, there's the shot. Ultimate comes out from Gary and cleans things up very nicely. Entic is just running back and forth trying to find something to do, and he just can't do anything. Pay-per-view might be in a bad spot here, hunting for a little bit more damage. Doesn't have the kit up.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Entic was trying to be a little proactive, misses out on a big play there, but Kamikoto is hunting, knowing that there's no flash from the previous play on mid lane. So let's see if Dragon Killer can engage onto Entic here.
Yeah, bad spot. That's
nice try.
Now it goes a little bit wide. Good for Entic there. Very good for the minion farmers. They really can't afford to give up any more kills in this situation right now.
Yeah, but I mean, in this situation, it's pretty bad. I mean, 5k down at 15 minutes is really bad. And then Carry, while we were talking, does get the Herald. Colby looking for a play here, but it's Kamikoto on with the lantern.
That's so heart-wrenching. You commit the ultimate. You try to find that taunt, and it's just a lantern that takes Iska all the way back to safety. No flash, no barrier. Heck, he's got regular boots. Hasn't even upgraded those yet.
Yeah, I mean, things are looking pretty good for MVP, pretty bad for farm. So, I mean, Carry with this hubris is looking for that collector. I mean, they have 23 stacks of that hubris, but I mean, so man, this is okay. Man, they're really using that lantern to their full capacity, but I mean, they were looking for something there. I mean, Colby was in the bush, but they're looking back mid here. But Colby is getting heavily outplayed. Oh, man, bot lane trading here. Sorry.
Looking for something. That lantern's a little too far up, and Iska cannot take it to safety this time. Finally, a second kill goes on the board, but look at Carry bringing the Rift Herald down into mid lane. Gonna crack that one here. An easy piece of gold into their pockets.
I mean, getting that tower. I mean, top lane tower was already down, so the first tower of the game is already gone. Oh man, they're looking for a play.
Rogue intervention coming in, not gonna be finding the knock-up.
Nice play.
Brings JD's back.
Kamikoto has to be careful here. Oh, lands the
another death sentence right into the taunt.
Oh,
Waits
nice.
a little too long to pop it. JD's lives by the skin of his teeth.
I mean, good play there from Kami, forcing the flash out from Braum, you know, kind of salvage the. Oh man, stops the back too.
Don't stand in that. Yo,
Yeah.
Can we just shout out Colby finally getting his red buff, like getting some farm in his own jungle? That's a big play for our Rabbit.
Yeah, but
Oh
but avert your eyes on the CS difference. I mean, we don't want to look at that if we're fans of farm right now. That is almost we're quickly approaching Flame Horizon levels right now. I mean, Carry on this Graves has been absolutely running the map. I mean, this is what I thought was going to happen last game on the Trundle, but I think just they died a few times. Uh-oh, the sentence hand lands again. Oh, right into the CC.
You know, the cage really doesn't do that much if you
Oh,
don't
the
find
lantern
the stun,
again!
But a great call of the Forge God knocks up 2. But do you have follow-up? Colby's by himself. Without farm, he's looking awfully brittle, and he's going to go down nice and quick. Carry put some damage back into JD's. Not going to be dissuaded. The rest of the team coming on forward.
Oh, flash forward for Carry.
But he doesn't need the backup. Carry my team. Just puts him on his back. Carries the damage.
Yeah, Carry my team is carrying his own team. It's crazy what this Graves is doing on these side lanes. I mean, the focal point of that entire play was Kamikoto on this Thresh. I mean, landing the hook onto the end tick, you know, setting up the entire play, and then dropping the lantern perfectly for Iska to avoid the Rammus ultimate and the Forge God. I mean, they do get hit by the Ram, but it was way outside of the engage range, and Colby tries to find the taunt there, but gets hooked again under tower and gets killed from Dragon Killer showing up to the fight, and Iska landing their arrows. So in the extended trade, you know, Carry does flash forward, get the kill onto JD's, and it's just, I mean, they're looking pretty good. And 25 stacks onto Hubris in a Summer's Rift game is kind of crazy.
That is gross. Listen, all I'm saying is that if I'm the Minion farmers right now, I'm very glad Thresh cannot be played again in this series.
Yeah.
Kami is just a menace. And that's not to take away from any of the other teammates here doing a lot of work. Well, I mean, we talk about him. He puts the case in point. Box comes up. Colby became pushed around.
Another death sentence.
Tries to engage to save, but another death sentence.
Aurora's here.
Right back in. Colby's got nowhere to go.
Death sentence
Why
again.
is the team walking into this? My Goose, you've walked into a taunt. You're all dead. You're all gone. Good night. We're farming you today.
Is it going to be Baron at 20 minutes here for MBB? I mean, they're all pathing towards it. I mean, the four members down for farm. It's going to be a 20-minute Baron for MBB. This game is so out of control for farm. They were looking for a quick pick onto, I don't even know, Carry? I mean, they were looking for a quick pick, but it turns into a whole team coming in to save their jungler and everybody else. So it's just a great play there for MBB. They're taking so much space, so farm tries to, you know, contest them for it, but it's Kamikoto again on the Thresh, landing death sentence after death sentence after death sentence. And this ability seems like it's point and click right now.
I just don't understand why we funneled into that as the Minion farmers. It smells of a desperation play where they see, you know, there's a fight happening and they get caught in the vortex. Oh, my team is dying. I need to help my team. And the next guy sees, oh, my ADC is going in. I should be helping out my ADC. Then he gets caught. Antic's the only one who stays out of it. And frankly, I think that's the absolute right play from the mid laner. You just can't be walking into these fights. You're so far down. And MBB have full throttle on this game. 10,000 gold up. Disgusting CS leads in a couple different places here.
Yeah.
12 kills up. I mean, what do you even do to start to bring this one back?
I mean, yes, Farm probably shouldn't have taken that fight, but I mean, with how bad this game is going, they have to look for some form of play to kind of get themselves back into the game or even stabilize. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that probably wasn't it, but I have to credit them for looking for something, but I mean, that something was pretty bad, and right now, this is not looking too good.
He just got threaded between the minions coming forward. Glacial Chasm gonna do nothing to keep him alive. The time to kill right now is just so low for MBB. They're gonna walk this Baron right into this middle tower, and this one, it's not long for the world.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Baby Cage comes out for Veigar. They looks like they will save the mid lane tower, but I
There's
mean,
another wave.
yeah, there's another wave coming, and I mean, in the top lane, is still pushing, so they're going to draw a few members to that side lane, and open up the pressure. And meanwhile, mid bot lane, but Dragon Killer is trying to crack open this outer bot lane tower. By the way, outer, not even the inner one. So, I mean, soon enough, all waves are going to be baroned up and pushing. I mean, there's probably only a few more seconds left of this Baron buff, but I mean, the damage is done with this Baron buff. The gold lead is 12k at this point, 23 minutes into the game, and Soul Point is going to be up in about a minute. So Dragon Killer, you could probably pitch this wave and probably want to look to, back and reset with your team. If not, then you just try and, not get picked here. So, yeah, if I'm to try and finish my thought from earlier for farm, trying to find your way back into this game, you got to look for look at the side lane, this is Aurora. I mean, you've tried earlier, but you got to look at somebody in the side lane and try and pick them off. And hopefully it's right before a major objective. So like in these next 30 seconds, maybe you can look to but that's not it.
Oh, yeah. See, Iska was getting flamed for being the only guy on his team having died so far, so he just had to put some moves down onto Entic real fast here. Get himself another kill.
Yeah. I mean, typically an AD carry flashing into the face of a Veigar does not bode well for the AD carry, but with how bad this game is going for farm, I mean, Iska didn't even have to burn barrier. Like the full combo from Veigar doesn't pop the Varus, and kind of indication of how this game has been going for farm. But right now they're gonna try to walk into this dragon, but it's so hard. I don't imagine them being able to without forcing a fight or having Ornn here, but they get hooked.
Iska is working on a death cap and still has not bothered to upgrade his boots. We're sitting on tier 1 boots of speed right now, and the speed is the way that they kill their opponents. Entic
is up.
And here's the forge gap, but no, he gets rooted. He can't slam it back in, but Kobe goes in, finds an entrance onto 3, but he's just got no defenses.
Here's
Yuno in the back. You know who it is. The damage comes through, and the minion farmers fall. It's a full ace, and MBB gonna walk down to the base.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be game number 2 here for MBB. They're going to even up the match score for themselves. I mean, huge team fight there. I mean, Farm, you had to look for something there. You can't give over the soul at this point of the game, otherwise it's over. So I don't fault them from looking for the fight. But as soon as Gus show up, it's just a one team fight for MBB, and it's going to be a clean game number 2 win for them. Oh, Dragon Killer, don't die here. Oh boy. But yeah, game number 2 in the for the favor of MVB. And I mean, wait, they do end, right? Yeah, they end.
No, there's just too much damage. They cannot stop this push. MBB tie this series up, dominating fashion, 2-21 on the kill board. Let's take a moment to look at the CS just one more time. 127 to 250 in the jungle. Those are not very fun numbers to be working with here, Arrow. I mean, what went? I don't know if it's what went so wrong or what went so right. Talk to me. What happened in this game, Arrow?
I mean, I think for MVB, it's like what went right, everything, and then for Minion farmers, what went wrong, everything. So, this is exactly what I think I mentioned it during our cast, but it was like what Carrie did on this Graves was what I was expecting to happen in game number 1. Yeah. But I think you correctly pointed it out, Spooky, that Trundle wasn't able, I guess as a champion, isn't able to have that same carry potential that Graves can do in those types of situations. I mean, I think something else that kind of happened, I've mentioned it a handful of times at this point, but Carey did die 2 or 3 times after they got that huge lead in game number 1, and that kind of stunted, that huge lead that they had. So I think, in theory, if in game number 1, if Carey doesn't, hand over two or three free kills, it's like they continue doing the same thing that they just did in this game number 2, where this Graves didn't die. This Graves got such a huge lead. They got kills all over the map, and we're running everywhere, contesting, invading, stealing camps, and just we're all up 100 something CS to their jungle opponent. So it's like, I think, what went wrong for Minion farmers is that, Carry decided to not int, essentially, is what went wrong. So Carry, just absolutely Carry performance here, bringing mommy before bros back into an even series. And if I'm Minion farmers, I'm glad Graves isn't going to be played for the rest of the series. And same thing with what you were saying with Thresh. Thresh is not going to be played the rest of the series, because Moto on that Thresh was just landing everything, and kind of drew together that mid game, and got the win for everybody. So I'm pretty happy with how MBB played. I mean, I hope to see another carry performance for the side of carry, because with how the game number 1 and game number 2 went, it just seems like too big of a jungle gap for Minion farmers to deal with. I mean, even in game number 1, Colby was down a lot of CS before they got a few picks onto carry, and it seemed like it was the same thing for this game number 2, and just this time they couldn't get those picks. They couldn't find, a side lane play. They couldn't get anything else. So then it was just doomed from the start. So this is exactly what I expect out of these respective compositions as drafts. As we, I probably will be getting into draft very soon, but it just overall great game for MBB and Minion farmers. You just gotta clear ahead and go for game number 3.
Like you said, Arrow, we're going to keep everybody with us this time around, because our draft will be coming up very quickly. I want to go back and re-highlight Kamikoto there, because, like you mentioned, not only were death sentences happening, just landing constantly every single time he was thrown, we saw some big whiffs. I won't lie.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But during that lane phase, it really was Farm's chance to shine. Their bot side looked very strong. They were getting some good damage off.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't allowed to finish any of those fights. It was constantly the lanterns pulling Iska away. The positioning between Iska and Kamikoto, you could tell they were just in constant communication, knowing exactly what they were going to do.
Right.
Because there was never a time where Kamikoto was standing next to Iska to ruin those lanterns.
Yeah.
They have to find some more success. And if it's not going to be in the bot lane, they need to have maybe something more aggressive up top side for the Minion farmers. But they have to do something different. They have to make some of these engagements actually stick. And maybe find some ways to unlock Entic, or just get this farm in the jungle under more secure wraps, because Colby was starved, man. He didn't have anything.
Yeah, Colby, I mean, Sejuani, Rammus, I mean, those champions do not clear faster than the Trundle and a Graves. So I mean, it was a great play from Carey to realize that, hey, I clear faster, so I have the opportunity to get to Scuttles faster and get there first. And then I think what really unlocked that, and then Carey's ability to also invade, was just I think you kind of hinted at it, though. It's like, top lane Aurora had push all the time. Mid lane Galio had, constant pressure, had constant push all the time as well into that Veigar. So it's like, in the last few game in game number 2, it was just the absolute top side just running over the game, and there wasn't much that the solo laners could do. I mean, Ornn would be forced to drop waves to help out the jungler, to help out Colby, but at that point it's like Ornn is going to be so far behind. And then same thing with Veigar. Veigar wants to be farming waves, getting CS. I mean, they can farm off of champions, but that early into the game they're not going to have the damage to really match up, right? So we'll have to see if farm want to stay with this same type of composition. And it worked out in game number 1, where they were able to survive and scale to late and just absolutely run the game. But if they can't find an answer to carry just absolutely running everywhere everywhere and anywhere that they want, then it's going to be a quick game number 3 again.
Wow. We've got our bans for game number 3. Not a lot has changed, but I will note this Hui has swapped positions in the bans. Been seeing him get banned in the second round pretty consistently. This time, Minion Farmer's taking off the board early. Go for this Malzahar that's been banned away from Entic very frequently through this series. Does that change enough, Arrow?
I mean, we were just talking about who gets prio. I mean, if Entic can get some more prio, maybe they can stop carry from invading. And Malzahar gets prio all the time. So with those space disease AIDS thingy that comes out, I mean, it's like Malzahar does answer that. So maybe I think Farm have kind of realized like, hey, we need some more priority in the mid lane. Otherwise, carry is going to have going to be having an easier time. And with Malzahar point and click ultimate, you can stop carry from doing his carrying things. So in theory, this is a great pick. I like the draft adaptation to swap around some of the bans, avoid. I think Hui does have an easier time, into Malzahar with their ability to push and also kind of prevent Malzahar from having their passive uptime. But Syndra going to be the counter pick here for Dragon Killer, and I think Syndra can be successful, but I still doubt that they're going to be able to outpush a Malzahar, and get that prio. But I mean, it's just overall just a strong champion. They can pop that passive with their dark spheres, but. Yeah. Oh, spicy pick potentially. Shaco is locked in here. Okay. I'm not. I don't.
Cruz back?
I'm not sure.
This smells like a Terry pick to me.
That does kind of smell like a Terry pick indeed. But I can't see the lobby right now, so I don't know if there is a roster swap here. But I mean, Shaco is. Oh, I don't know this champion actually. I don't know much about this champion other than that they're really annoying to play again. Annoying to play against for sure. So
you know everything about the champion.
Great.
He's annoying to play against. Comes out of nowhere. Boxes come out of nowhere. Fears you down. Very, very annoying and unfun. I do like some of the things that we've got going for them so far. I've got confirmation that Terry Crews is not back just yet.
Okay.
This is just something that many farmers are wanting to run with. I want to turn our eyes towards this gen because we haven't talked about it a lot. I don't know how I feel about this switch up in the bot side. Does it do enough? Does it have enough sustained damage? Well, if farmer's not going to pick their regular tanks, I suppose it's not as punished here.
It kind of fits the same build that Iska has been that Iska was filling from game number 2.
Sure.
Where in that game, Aurora topside is your carry. There's going to be most of your damage, and they had the Graves in the carry jungle as well. So they Iska didn't need to do much on the Varus except land their ultimate and be a little bit more of a pressure point for your teams for farm to kind of attack. But Jhin kind of fits that bill of being like that, not necessarily your hyper carry like this Jinx, but you land some CC with that W, you land the slows with your traps, you have the long range with your with the curtain call and everything. So I think this is just Iska being comfortable on the Jhin and just like trying to fill out the role of like, hey, likely this is going to be a carry top laner here for again, and Syndra, Jarvan are going to be big damage dealer, or like Jarvan will be your front line and Syndra will be another damage dealer, of course. So Iska doesn't, the pressure to carry and deal the most damage isn't there, and I think Jhin kind of fits that role of being a little more utility. So it's going to be paired with the Nautilus. I think Nautilus is good, and another frontliner, and you can lock down a Shaco and a Jinx. But I'm pretty sure if Nautilus ults a Shaco before they ultimate, then Shaco can cancel out that ultimate with what is I forgot the clone, I guess is the I don't
Yeah.
remember the
Clone.
exact, yeah, but they can cancel it out with that clone ability. But
Here, I've got
so
something for you. I've got something. Never
what's
mind. I don't have anything for you. I was gonna
okay.
I was gonna toss out a crazy Shaco support guesstimation
That
here,
would be crazy. That would
but then
be
they picked
crazy.
Rel.
Yeah, they did pick. They instead they're gonna go for the rel, but um, I I I would have liked to see like a more like cat enchanter support for this Jinx, because I think this Jinx is gonna have a lot more pressure to carry. I mean, like rel is pretty. Ooh, what is that? A Heimerdinger top lane?
Yeah, it's a Heimerdinger top lane.
Okay. So interesting. I
You're
mean,
way too excited about Heimerdinger top lane
it's
arrow.
something
Most
new.
people look at this and their enthusiasm dies.
Hey, my enthusiasm is up because I know isn't gonna pick something like boring into it. Like, I mean, I guess can it can uh okay,
Hmm.
maybe I might need to be corrected
It's a
there. I don't. Okay,
Gragas.
that is a Gragas. Um, huh.
Is that
Interesting.
entertaining to you? Is the Gragas an interesting pick?
No, I was hoping for something else, honestly. What would be very interesting though is that instead of like, because I know Syndra does have a pretty good time into Heimerdinger because you can grab their turrets and just throw them wherever you want. But I doubt that the Syndra will be going into top lane unless this is a Heimerdinger mid and a Malzahar top.
Malzahar
I don't.
top?
I don't know. I look farm. They've completely flipped the script. There's no more of this late game scaling front to back. They're going for some happy gaming here. So I'm all for that, honestly. And then MBB, it actually feels like they've kind of flipped their typical compositions. Like MBB have this more like slow like late game scaling composition, and then Farm has this like early game with Shaco, like Malzahar doing their thing. I don't know, but what do you think, Spooky? This is strange.
I think that this is some absolute nonsense. But
Yeah.
sometimes this is what you need, right? You're a game three situation, backs to the walls. You lose this, you're out, it's done, you're over.
Mhm.
So what do? You bring out your picks. You go for
Sure.
what you are comfortable with, what
Yeah.
you think can cause enough mayhem to bring you this game. Can they do it? Can they get there? Only find out after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, the final fight starts right here, right now. One team will progress their dream towards the semifinals. One team will end their run entirely. And frankly, Arrow, after that last game, MBB have a whole lot of momentum behind them. Minion Farmers, they've got quite the, honestly, mental canyon they have to crawl themselves out of after the absolute thrashing that stopped their run.
Oh yeah, I mean, I game number 2 was pretty stark difference from game number 1, apart from the early game being a little more in favor of or early game and mid game being a lot more in favor of MVP, but I mean, there's a lot on the line here. I mean, once if for the team that wins, you move on, you get to face Dragoons, the 6-0 team of the season, and then for the team that loses, you're done for the season, and you got to wait for the next season for another chance at playoffs, for another chance at the title. So, a lot to kind of gauge, and a lot at stake here for both teams if they want to perform, or if they want to keep performing with each other. But I mean. Something else that I kind of want to point out is like this is a pretty drastic change in terms of like compositions for farm.
Right.
I mean, from game number 1 and number 2. So I mean, for Spooky, I mean, what do you think so far? I mean, this Heimerdinger seems to be having a good time. It technically is a range versus melee matchup in the top lane again. So, what are your thoughts so far?
What I will say is that in situations like this, 1-to-1, it simplifies things a bit, right? You're no longer in a best of 3. You are in a best of 1 match. You just need a single victory to take this home. And pay-per-view, up on the top side, says, you know what? If I'm in a best of 1, let's go ahead and get scummy with it, pick up the Heimerdinger, and turn things around a little bit on Unova. I will say Uno's earned this. He's earned this matchup after the last time around. And I think this is what Minion Farmers need. Get some pressure in these lanes so that Colby can actually play his game in the jungle.
What's funny is that actually chose to be in this because they had the R5 counter pick, so they saw the Heimerdinger. They knew it was most likely going top, so then they picked Gragas into it. So I mean, right now they are even in CS, but if I'm pay-per-view, I mean, I think this so on Farm's roster, pay-per-view is their listed support. JD's is filling for Farm's jungler being absent right now. So in theory, my guess as to why Heimerdinger is that pay-per-view played Heimerdinger support when that was a big thing, a few years ago. So this might be their form of comfort, but we'll have to see how they perform. I mean, right now they are even in CS. I think is doing a very good job, staying even and getting some farm. Oh, a little bit of engage here bot lane.
Look, the Dredge Line, very powerful tool for engagement here, but a lot of aggression turns back around into MBB. Good root comes out from Iska. Just needs that last bit of damage with a force shot. Doesn't quite have the range. Doesn't have the damage just yet here. And you know what? I'm glad we saw this. Hold that thought. Colby up in the mid lane gets pushed away. I'm glad we saw that exchange in the bot side, because this has kind of been where a lot of the aggression has been throughout this series so far.
Oh yeah.
Ishka and Maiku's going up against each other. Kami, Kodo, and JD seeing who can make the most space.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad to see that's continuing here.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Kami Kodo on that Thresh in game number 2, they're landing every hook. Well, congratulations, you're on another hook champion, and it seems like they're doing a pretty damn good job right now. Oh, paying it some attention mid here.
On bot side, Entic under duress as well. But even with all this damage that's been landing, everything's coming through, no kills have been found just yet. A lot of poke damage comes out across the entire map.
Yeah, for sure.
Just jockeying for control. Dashes forward, but again, I'm really looking for the first fight that breaks this deadlock they're in. Carry has yet to show up in one of these lanes. He's been quietly farming, which is unlike him so far. It might spell a difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a drastic difference from game number 1 and 2. I mean, carry isn't on. Oh, I mean, isn't versus a tank right now. So I think Shaco does have a better time clearing. I think both junglers were able to get their respective scuttles, so there's not a double scuttle. But here comes Jarvan. Oh,
Very good flash. Takes pay-per-view out of the damage. No knock-up there, but does expend the ultimate. Maybe expecting the follow-up Cataclysm, not realizing he was still only level 5 there.
yeah.
Still.
Yeah. Oh, good hook here.
Very good dredge line into the root. Shouldn't be enough to bring JD's down. The Ignite is on cooldown right now, so not a lot of kill potential.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for carry, I mean, I think I think they're going to they're going to be forced to play a little more of the less invading a style and forcing trying to get a bunch of a big CS difference as opposed to game number 1 and 2. But I'm sure they'll be just fine with I think
Ooh.
Dragon Killer's in trouble here.
Come in, Ignite, another good stun. Malefic Visions does connect, and that's the first blood. Entic, with a couple of point-and-click skill buttons, finds himself a good kill.
I think Carrie's looking for a trade back kill here, though. Nice.
Yeah. Cataclysm! Cataclysmic Rentic's health bar. 1-1 now. Neither team giving anything up.
Yeah, I mean, great play there for farm there with Entic and Colby, setting up the gank. Shaco cues over the wall, invisible, and Entic just lands their ultimate, and they're never and it was
hard to do.
Yeah, very hard to do. I mean, just just press R. That's all. But good job there. And then I think it was a great play from Dragon to you kind of survive that and forcing Entic to flash under tower or flash under their tower and finish off the kill, which sets up carry to get the free kill without having to burn their flash, getting the levels just using Cataclysm like we were saying. So. But oh my gosh, man, there's so much trading here in the bot lane. JD's is not having a good time. It's just like the upfront trade is always going to be in favor of Kamikoto. And Shaco's here though.
All a bait. Colby coming in, but the Ignite has come back up. Barrier is used. Now Iska has the damage turned around on him. Gonna go ahead and use the clone ultimate. Fear comes in, and now it's a turnaround. Kamikoto goes down. MBB on the back foot.
Wow, I mean, I've never seen a Shaco clone turn around a fight like that ever, and just my experience of playing against Shaco kind of showing there. So, great play there from Colby to disrupt that 2v2. Otherwise, it would have been an easy 2v2 win for Iska and Kamikoto on this Jhin and Nautilus here. So, great play there for Colby to stuff the play and get their bot lane back on track. But I mean, carry doing the same thing that they've kind of been doing, going into the enemy jungle, invading, getting that blue buff, and it looks like they're going to get that scuttle. So what looked like an even farm lead in jungle has quickly ballooned into a 12 or 13 CS lead for carry. So again, carry on the same rampage path to get some more farm and be ahead. And right now they're looking at the no flash Malzahar mid lane again, but it looks like Entic is playing safe. So nothing to be had there, and they will be spotted out on that vision plant. So back to more of an even state here, but I mean this bot lane is getting pretty volatile for MBB. I think they're winning most of their trades, but right now they got Kamikoto caught out.
JD's has the ultimate pulling people in. Just needs a little bit more. No. It comes through. Death Rocket connects. Oh, Iska sidesteps, and he has to make sure he lives. Curtain call gonna come up, looking for a couple shots, but there's just nothing there. The damage not gonna be enough for Iska this time around. I want to call back towards this jungle matchup real fast here. You noted carry a little bit ahead in the CS department, and while that's good, Colby though has been a lot more active on the map. Hold the thought, carry.
No flash top lane.
Great casket pushes pay-per-view away, and the Cataclysm comes in, but taking a lot of damage from the tower. Turret's not able to do the job, keeps his life, and that is one dead Heimerdinger.
Yeah, that almost looked pretty bad there for carry and on this. The Cataclysm does lock down the Heimerdinger, but Heimerdinger with their ultimate it's more of a situation who's trapped with who right now. But thankfully for the side of MVV, they do get the kill and get out with their lives. So another kill onto carry, and they're going to be looking to carry this game again, but with this Jarvan. But on the flip side, Farm will get their first dragon of the game. So great cross map there from both sides. I mean, that 2v2 in the bot lane was looking pretty bad there. I thought it was that might be a caster curse. I mean, I was singing the praises of Iska and Kamikoto, but then they quickly get 2v2 kills, and unfortunately Iska flashes the super mega death rocket only for Kamikoto to get killed there. So they're looking for more here, but nothing to be had. But yeah, Entic had a little bit of a roam timer. Does both mid laners have their first item? Unova not yet having that Rod of Ages, opting to go for the tier first before completing their Roa. But I mean, oh man, this is not looking too good.
Iska cannot be stepping up to these tries to look for a 4th shot on the Mycus, but he's not having any of it. Get excited, get a double kill. Now let's turn our eyes over to this pit. Void Grubs do go down, but Colby has very little he can do here. Goes into the invisibility, but Carry still hunting.
Cataclysm. No, does he not have Cataclysm?
Oh, nice. Right around. Lance takes him down.
Nice. Great play there from Carry to secure. I think they got they only got 1 Void Grub. So I think it was Colby getting the Void Grubs first and getting 2, but Carry will get 1 in response. But the trade back kill is pretty huge. This Jarvan is so fed, and they're looking to dive Entic here under tower.
He's got Cataclysm, and he's got the setup. A perfect stun from Dragon Killer. This is the power of the Syndra into the Malzahar. Yeah, you've got yourself a nice little spell shield that's up like every, 30 seconds at the start of the game?
Yeah.
Dragon Killer is not letting him have that at any point. Constantly keeping it on cooldown, finding these stuns just to make sure Entic's always under pressure. And Carry, man, he's just so good at capitalizing.
Yeah, and I mean, every time Syndra does land an ability with that Blackfire... bot lane trading here again, but nothing.
When are they not?
Yeah. I mean, both junglers are here, so it might be quickly turning into a 3v3, but it looks like Carry is going to go back to farming. But like I was good. The point I was going to say, wait, top lane, Cask.
How's the ultimate? Going to make the space, just has to walk away from this one. Knows he can't push his luck any further. Go back to your point, Aero. I want to hear what your thoughts are here.
Okay, so if there's no action, I would like to mention that because the Syndra has Blackfire Torch, if they land an ability onto the Malzahar passive will only the cooldown will only come back up when the DOT from Blackfire Torch ends. So it's wait, bot lane action again.
Iska quickly gets burst down here. Big depth charge, but not enough to save the life. Dredgeline takes Kamikoto back to his tower, but the damage has been done. MBB struggling on this bot side quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, not respecting the gank pressure or the gank potential of the Shaco. It's hard. It's really hard to tell where this Shaco is coming from, especially when they're invisible at all times. So it's looking pretty rough for this bot lane. I mean, the 5-0 Jinx at 13 minutes into the game is pretty good for farm. I mean, you would hope that this Jinx doesn't get this fed this early into the game, and right now this Jinx is super accelerated, and they have their Kraken Slayer. They unfortunately didn't finish their coal before they're back, so only going to have the Zeal item, but they're going to be building towards that Zeal item. But Carry is up 2 levels right now. This is not good for Colby.
He's going to go ahead and look for this fight. Cataclysm does a lot of damage, and they pick the right target. Colby gets annihilated by Dragon Killer, and that's all she wrote here in the jungle. Maybe a little more attention towards this bot side from Carry, but you're also playing through some winning lanes right now.
Yeah, I mean, mid lane has prio, top lane. I mean, I don't think Gragas technically has prio, but this Heimerdinger has not tried to utilize their push advantage to help out jungle at all. So right now, I mean, Carry is just like controls pretty much the top side of the map. I mean, yes, you would like to see them go back bottom and try and get that big shutdown on the Jinx, but any team fight later into the game, I think this Jarvan's gonna have such an easy time getting to this Jinx. I mean, If Kamikoto can burn the flash of Jinx before a key team fight, either landing a hook or landing a big depth charge, no flash Jinx is gonna get stuck in a cataclysm, and there's nobody on the side of farm that's gonna be able to help. I mean, this is why I thought that they would like a little more of an enchanter to help with this Jinx in a cataclysm, but I mean, right now, it's the reason why this Jinx is 5-0 in the first place is because of this Rel. So there's a little bit of conflicting, ideals here, but I will have to take a look.
Let's see how it pans out in the team fights themselves. For his part,
Yeah.
that starts a little scrap up top side.
Oh, we're contesting
here's
here.
The dragon that we're really putting our eyes down.
The flanking Nautilus.
But Colby standing right here. The leash is broken.
Lance.
Oh, shoot! That's a big set of 3 hit with the depth charge. Curtain call. This might be the end of the fight. The Nethergrass, though, turns around.
She's gonna reset, though. She's gonna reset.
The silence is so strong. Carry can't do anything.
Oh, no.
Still the backliners coming on forward. Hiska is guilty. Triple kill for Dragon Killer. Can ya make it a quadra? JD's stunned down, and Iska's got the damage. Root is good. Just needs a little bit more. Iska finishes the job.
Wow, what a 4v4 here on Dragon. It was Kamikoto on the flank, lands a huge dredge line onto the Jinx, and then lands a huge depth charge onto 4 members. But unfortunately, MBB were in position to follow up immediately, so it was Jarvan having to forcing themselves to flash into 4 and lands a huge cataclysm there. But it looked pretty bad. Jinx got a reset, but it was Dragon Killer. Is alive?
Did you live that? That's
but
crazy.
I don't think
Pay-per-view now has no mana, and there's a Nautilus standing right here on top of you. Enough mana for the ultimate, I guess.
Yeah,
Kami still just making space though.
But Carrie's on the way.
Yes, sir, on the way up, looking for a way
in.
Flash dredge line gonna connect. Smite gonna do the job. Pay-per-view fights for his life, but comes up wanting.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, but getting out with the skin of their teeth there. I think it's probably a Rylai diff, and then Gragas passive, of course. But man, pay-per-view almost getting a trade back kill in the essentially was a 1v2 and later into a 1v3 there. But unfortunately, not enough damage to finish it off in the end. But going back to that Dragon fight, huge plays coming out from Dragon Killer on the Syndra. I mean, they have their Cosmic Drive now finished, so this is the CDR Syndra. She's going to be spamming their abilities and getting a lot of scatter the weeks onto the team of farms. So unfortunately for the Jinx, they got chunked out at the beginning of the fight, but have to burn flash and nothing else to avoid the Syndra. So even though they got a reset, not able to pop off in that team fight, and Syndra I think got the big shutdown. So Syndra's pretty accelerated at this point, and Dragon Killer is going to be pretty happy with alongside Carry who's still 5-1 as well, and they just finished their Black Cleaver. So yeah, things looking pretty good for MBB despite their bot lane feeding over 6 kills or 5 kills to this Jinx.
6 kills is correct. That was the right math here.
Yeah.
He's really struggling on this Shin. Even now, he just can't take any trades against Mycus. The attack speed difference, the damage and itemization difference is just a little bit too much to contend with. I really want to see where MBB goes next here, though, because like you said, they've got some big leads in their mid lane, in their jungle. It's up to these two to drive their momentum forward.
Right now they're looking mid.
In aggressive, JD
no flash
is the target. Cataclysm gonna lock them in, but Mycus is free casting. Nonetheless, the damage isn't there, but it's all there for Carry. Curtain call, and we finding a little bit of space, just looking to make sure this push goes a little easier. Yeah,
they get the pick onto Rel, and they probably can work this play into a free Herald fight there, but it looks like Colby wants more onto Kami. Nice, good pick there. Oh, Mycos is excited. Iska.
He's going to be making his rotation in.
Syndra is here.
Considering his targets, Dragon Killer in from the back, but that's the clone, and they know it. They don't get feared. That's an excellent restraint from MBB.
Yeah, I mean, great play there from Mycos and Colby to recognize that Kamikoto had no flash and they were pushed up a little too far there. So maybe it won't be the Herald there for Yeah, no, yeah, Baron's now spawned, unfortunately, but yeah, no Herald there for MBB, and the great turn back play for Farm and Colby. But I mean, Colby quietly is still losing a lot of farm. They're still down 2 levels, so Carry's still like you keeping up the pace for the junglers. So I mean, Colby has to look for some plays to kind of get the rest of the team back online. Otherwise, what is the Shaco going to do? I mean, yeah, you have a clone that can create an extra member potentially, but that's there's not much that the Shaco can do later into the game. In terms of protecting this Jinx. I mean,
But
a
hey,
lot. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't
the
know.
bright
This
side.
is. Uh-oh.
This is
Yes.
pretty much
What's his bright
as
side?
much farm as Colby had by the end of last game. So we're doing great there.
True. Yeah, he's doing better in that department. That is true. So, um, yeah, I don't know, but quietly though. I mean, something that we didn't mention off screen, but Entic did get that bot lane tower. They got some damage onto the bot lane tier 2 as well. So Entic is also farming. Like, I mean, they're still down 20 CS to their lane opponent, but they're quietly doing pretty well. 2 items and their third item on the way, but a little skirmish here.
JD's in a bad spot. Curtain call going wide on the shots. Finally connects onto JD's. Last shot is good, but hits Colby. Meanwhile, Colby's flown in the back,
Yeah.
doing a little bit of work, making some
But
space.
Colby, no ultimate, right? 15 seconds before the dragon is going to be pretty huge. They're not going to have that escape, or not. They're not necessarily. Yeah, they're escape tools. So, hook onto.
That's gross! That's disgusting!
Oh,
And the
Cataclysm!
dredge line gonna drag JD's back. The Cataclysm has been used, but you're not fighting a fight inside of it. Ista instead getting on the back, but Dragon Killer finds a big stun. Double kill comes in right before Mykus goes down. But the Syndra is on a spree. Finally gets a shutdown. It's a messy fight, and it's just Carry left in the middle.
Carry's getting kited right now.
3 members. He's gonna find Colby. The shield comes up, but he doesn't have a way onto Entic, and the shutdown goes in his pockets.
The Super Mega Death Rocket from Mycos right before they go down is key to turning around that fight. I mean, they couldn't get onto the Jinx. She flashed out of the Cataclysm. They did get knocked up from the depth charge, but by the time that happened, there was no abilities for the side of MBB to finish them off. So they survived just long enough. And on the backside, I think it was Colby, even without their ultimate, just chunking out Iska and Kamikoto. It was a huge team fight there for Farm, and I think unfortunately they're not going to be able to get the dragon. So we might just do it all over again when everyone spawns back in.
This is the thing about the Jhin. The damage is bursty, but it's not sustained, and it doesn't bring these big targets down quickly. If you notice, it's JD's who's been getting caught by these dredge lines. This Rel does not go down quickly by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Now the pay-per-view finally getting that top tower down. This Heimerdinger can be unlocked. Maybe leave these lanes a little bit. But the one leaving first.
Yeah, I mean this like you pointed it up correctly, Spooky, but this Rel does have 2 items and they're pretty damn tanky with this. I mean, we're about to test that out again.
Again onto JD's, the CC just collapsing. The rest of the team says, no, we can't fight this. The objective has been lost. Don't bother. I like the call from Farm to focus on what they're getting up on this top side.
Yeah, they do. Their reward is the third dragon of the game and their second for themselves. But I mean, on the flip side, pay-per-view on this Heimerdinger is just split pushing top lane. They did get a bunch of plates there. I mean, almost taking down their top lane tier 2 towers. So I mean, I kind of, even though pay-per-view is 0-2-0, they kind of forcing to like stay top lane. Oh, though speaking of mid lane here,
Goodness,
Mycos no flash.
Might be up top side, but the rest of the team is in bot lane. Dragon Killer left by himself. No peel, no one to keep him alive. It's 2 for 2 in the mid lane. Tower finally gets broken down. And meanwhile, says, all right, buddy, it's my turn to play the game. We've scaled up. I'm 17. I'm ahead of you. Where's your mana now? Go ahead and run. Doesn't quite have the feet to catch up to him, but keep your eyes on Carry looping
Carry's
around,
hunting.
looking to catch pay-per-view. Last and make some extra space, and that's what's going to get him out.
Yeah, I think Carry doesn't want to commit the time necessary to find pay-per-view on the Heimerdinger, but That last team fight, I think Iska was hitting the turret instead of killing the Jinx there. So unfortunately, Jinx gets a reset and survives a little bit longer than she probably should have in that situation. But Dragon Killer goes down. I mean, I think Colby and Entic are just like kind of focusing their fire onto Dragon, which makes sense. They are doing the most amount of damage. But I think Iska kind of inted there. They were trying to take down the tower instead of killing the low health Jinx that was right in front of their face. So. Ends up being, I think the overall was like a 1-for-1, or 1-for-2 or something like that.
Two for
But
two,
I mean,
think it was,
yeah,
overall.
2-for-2, I think. So
At the same time,
overall,
like if the play is for the tower, someone's got to be the one hitting it, so you're doing
true.
something.
That's true. That's very true.
I'll trust the comms for the East to hit and focus.
For sure. So
if they can clean things up though in this next fight, because right, not having that extra damage.
Carrie's looking bot lane onto Entic here.
Extremely dangerous. Carrie looking at Entic.
Force the flash
out. Does he have the follow up?
God, the Rylai slow is crazy.
Still here. Good knock up. Stun.
Oh, nice.
Dragon Killer comes in. Another grasp straight into the unleashed power. Yeah, try to suppress that one.
Yeah, great play there. I mean, and on the flip side, Farm not in position yet to take the dragon, so this is a free play for Carry to get the pick onto Entic. Entic, I don't know why you're pushed up that far with your team on the complete other side. I mean, yeah, you hope the jungler comes to gank you, in hopes that your team's able to get Baron, but clearly their team wasn't in position to. So unfortunately, Entic just gets caught out in isolation on the side lane there, and it was just a free pick onto them, and Farm not able to utilize that pressure that they got.
Another tower goes into Farm's pockets, if nothing else. No Baron. At least you get something on the map here, but you have raised a very good point here, Arrow. The Baron has to be the next objective we're kind of looking at here. We've got a minute and a half before we look at the next dragon. That one's soul point for MBB. Farm wanted to deprive them of that, but I don't know, most of the power, most of the pressure that Farm has is in this Heimerdinger keeping active. Is it beneficial to even try to play around this top side where can make easier rotations?
I mean, I think it's going to be pretty tough. I mean, in a straight 5v5, I mean, I still do favor MBB's composition, but something that I'm noticing in the last few team fights is like, yeah, they can kind of pick on this Jinx and, get them low, but so far we haven't found the oomph to actually finish off the Jinx. So I've been noticing Jinx is surviving with a few HP. Meanwhile, the rest of MBB is dying trying to dive. So it's like, in theory, MBB might overextend themselves trying to kill this Jinx.
Sure.
Meanwhile, the rest of the team does have the space to carry. So, I imagine in a 5v5 where Jarvan ults Cataclysms and everything, a Heimerdinger with a bunch of people clumped together trying to kill a Jinx is gonna pop off with those turrets. So, I mean. And if they don't focus the Jinx, this 9-1 Jinx with Last Whisper finished is going to pop off insanely hard. So all it takes is one reset, and the damage is just insane. So we'll have to see how this Baron goes. It looks like they're just dancing right now, looking, trying to pry some vision from each other. But so far nothing gained. But I mean, it looks like Farm want to start this, or just clear the vision.
Has spawned in here.
Yeah.
Looking for some stacks for MBB.
Yeah.
Farm actually looking
Oh, they're gonna hit it.
Could just be baiting MBB into a fight here because look how far away Carry is.
Carry's not there yet.
They have to be very careful on their approach. MBB knows they can't fully commit without this Dre 4 in the fight. They're playing this one smart.
Yeah, it's hard for Farm to start that because MBB have so much non-committal so many non-committal tools. I mean, if Farm wanted to start the Baron, I mean, Jhin just opens up with Curtain Call and can push them off pretty easily. And then same thing with that Gragas gas casket. So I mean, it's pretty hard for Farm, but I like that they're leveraging this Baron to force Carry to decide if they want to take the Dragon or not. But right now they have two members on the Dragon. I think they're getting the Dragon right now, so they need to start this. Right, I mean, they're gonna be a little late.
Dragon has been secured, and now Carry on his way up. Dragon Killer, though, He's got a lot of range CC, and there's just no way to start this up.
Here's
Finally, the
curtain
curtain
call.
call begins. Can we draw a curtain?
Oh,
on
Carry
this
flashes
fight?
in.
Carry all the way in, finds a way straight to the back. Entic has to flash out, but it leaves JD's in the Cataclysm alone. Tries to find a way out, but pushed back into the wall. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Iska finds the first kill of the fight. Kamikoto stunned.
Jinx
and
reset,
silenced,
Jinx
and
reset.
Kobe who picks it up, but the fight continues on the back. Iska is running through everything, looking at Maiku's a triple kill. You wanted him active, well here he is, putting the curtains down on this fight.
Yeah, what a fight there for MBB. The slow chase into the jungle, splitting the members of farm. They get Carry gets a huge cataclysm onto Entic and JD's and forcing Entic to flash out. But by the time they get out, it's a doomed play from there, and they just pick off key members. Maikos does get one reset onto the get excited, but it wasn't enough. Iska finally doing some damage in this game with that IE and the Last Whisperer being almost being completed, so it's going to be Baron for the side of MVB and completely flipping the game. They even got the third dragon of the game, so they're also on soul point. Uh-oh.
We got a couple bodies left in the pit here.
I think
Barry's
they can both
trying to wait for his cooldowns to try to find a way out
Yeah,
of this
they're
one.
both out.
Finally gets himself out. Not having the commitment to and Carry from the couple members of farm who were there. Colby and pay-per-view just a little hesitant there.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really tough to follow them. I mean, they don't know how many members were able to back and come out, get out there. So they opt to mess with them a little bit and then not really chase, unfortunately. But I mean, right now the map is heavily in favor of MBB. They have the dragons, they have the barons. Oh no, oh no.
That's all it takes. One quick CC leads to another, an arrow. With Maiku's down, what does this defense look like? It doesn't look good.
That might have been the game-winning pick there for Dragon Killer. I mean, Maikos is their team, unfortunately, and Heimerdinger can wave clear a little bit, but without the turret setup, they're not going to be able to do much here.
Turret body blocks the dredge line for pay-per-view,
okay.
Keeps him alive. Buying some time, 20 seconds till Maiku's comes up. The curtain call gonna be used, looking for some wave clear, looking for a little bit of poke, not finding everything they're looking for, but Kamikoto right in the back. There's the depth charge that cuts through everything. JD's gonna quickly fall, and there's 4 dead. Entic the only one alive. Maiku's though will be coming back up, looking to rejoin this defense. 2 towers, 2 members, 2 farmers.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God! You stepped up too far, and just like you said, Arrow, one pick is all it takes for one fight to end the game. Knocked out of your base, knocked out of your ult, and knocked out of the tournament. MBB, keep moving forward.
What a series for MVB. They drop game number 1 after looking a little looking way ahead in game number 1, but they turn it around in game number 2. It was Carry going with his name is Carry My Team, and he did just that for himself. He carried his own team. It was the Graves just running around the map killing everybody. And then it was this Jarvan absolutely controlling the map and winning out on all the side lanes and winning out in most of the team fights. They dove onto the key members. They dove onto everybody that they needed to, and it was and everybody else on MBB followed up and were able to get this game, snatch this game out of Minion Farmers' grasp, because it looked like Minion Farmers had control of the game. The 6-1 Jinx at some point was popping off, and then it's just a couple great team fight plays for MBB, leveraging the dragon, leveraging the baron, and then the slow chase into their jungle to split up the members of MF to of farmers to just to completely flip the game. And then the one pick onto the Jinx mid lane was all that mattered, and was all that MBB needed to win this game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a clinical performance coming out from MBB. We saw it start in game 2. It continued through game 3. We saw some rocky starts. We definitely saw a lot of pushback coming out from the Minion Farmers, but like I said, it just wasn't enough to wrap the game up. One lane winning is just not going to get you there against all that CC, all that lockdown that MBB had. And I want to shout out to Dragon Killer Mega. Didn't have a strong performance in game 1, But as soon as he got onto those picks who could move around the map a little bit easier, had a little bit more easily accessible CC, man, he was putting on a clinic.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon Killer was on that rise in game number one, but unfortunately, they had to lane into, I think, what Entic's best champion, which is the brand, and that brand was just popping off like left and right. So unfortunately for Dragon Killer, they had a rough game number one, but game number two with the Galio, they had control of that lane throughout the entire game, and then game number three popping off in that dragon fight to get that. I think it was a quadra kill or it was a triple kill, but it was they turned that team fight around on that Syndra, and they became the focal point for farm they became what like the target that farm was trying to target every fight. Like they drew so much pressure in most of these fights. Like Malzahar ulting the Syndra, and then I think it was the Shaco also cloning into the Syndra, trying to shut them down, which gave space for Carry to do their thing in the backline, and also for Iska to finally turn themselves around in that game. I mean, game number three was pretty rough in that laning phase. They looked good early, and then they handed over 5 kills. I mean, Iska and Kamimoto were kind of just inting in lane. So at some point, it looked like it was going to be a Jinx versus Jarvan kind of situation. But at the end of the game, Iska came alive in those last few team fights, and completely turned that game around. So a lot of kudos is to throw out there. I mean, quietly, on that Gragas was surviving top lane. I mean, they did lose a tower. I mean, but they were joining some team fights. They had some key plays, but overall, a great team win for MBB, and congratulations, you have made it to the next round, and you get to play Dragoons.
That's the key there, right? Great team win. Everyone coming together and showing us what this team is made of. Every individual piece looks good, but when they're all firing together, that's what puts on a show. I'm glad you called it out, Arrow. We have wrapped up our stream for today, but we've got more action coming up through the week. So make sure you're still tuned in, and make sure you're here next week, same time, Monday at 8:30, because we will be watching this semifinals match. Which decides who goes into the finals to face off and crown themselves champions. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our producer, Sirius, even though you bullied me at the start. We will see you here next time, right here on Risen Esports.